Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
Prime Day is here. With epic deals exclusively for Prime members, you'll feel like a winner.
Behind door number 3 is amazing deals.
Shop deals on electronics, home, and more this Prime Day.
Today's Sunday session is proudly brought to you by More Beer at www.morebeer.com.
I poured it in my mouth and it just wasn't going down.
My first beer was an IPA, the best IPA I've ever drank. Mostly because I brewed it.
If you have a scale that is good for measuring cocaine, you're probably good for measuring hops on it.
You're scaring me.
I think the information is awesome and the audio sucks.
There's some sugary water, throw some yeast in there, and you're going to drink good beer. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's fine.
God damn it, man. Oh, my God. Oh, uh-oh.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the studio. It's been 1 month, I've discovered today, since we've been in the studio for a show. Yeah, wow.
Hey, what's everybody been doing?
Been drunk.
Which, by the way, bunch of tards in the forum. Do you guys know that we still have a forum?
I heard rumors about it, but I didn't want to.
I check every once in a while if anything's
I'm in
changed.
Yeah, I just remembered we had one the other day. I was looking through it, and I
have a feeling we won't for very long.
Oh, I remembered why I stopped looking through it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I saw some angst in there.
Talking shit about you, huh?
People are so upset about their beer things. Beer things. Relax.
That's when people talk, is when they're upset.
That's true. Yeah, they're upset about the way we run things around here. Everybody can do it better, you know.
Well, it's weird because it's changed so dramatically and drastically that, you know, all of a sudden it's going to take people a while to get used to change.
And I disagree. I can do no better.
Right.
I'm with you.
You're at your peak. You're at the top of your game.
I think that was in your wedding vows to Sam.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I promise that I can do no better. Yeah.
No, it was more like I promise you can do no better.
That's true. He said, ow! Bevo says as she falls on her face out front of the studio.
Shut up. I didn't fall on my face. I fell on my knee.
She's got the big girl shoes on.
I do. Yeah. I just took them off.
She was embarrassed because a bunch of Martians saw her fall on her face. And I'm thinking, if you're embarrassed by Martians seeing you, boy, oh boy.
They probably didn't know what you were doing.
Didn't you say you fell because you still have your stripper shoes on or something?
They're not stripper shoes. I wore them to church.
Oh, they're church shoes. Church shoes and strippers.
What do strippers wear to church, really? Come on.
Yeah.
They're not clear, and they have a...
I see. That's the only difference.
It's a minimal platform.
Jesus,
they're not spiked.
Jesus loves an open-toed shoe and a heel. That's what it is.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, that's why you invented them.
That's right. Yeah, so I'm in the forum, and I'm reading about somebody canceled their subscription because they think we take too many days off and a bunch of other things.
I was really happy about the month break then.
The thing is, people's math is worse than mine. They can't add things up very well. Their logic is flawed. My logic is not flawed. That's probably the one thing about me that's not flawed is my logic.
I don't think
I've used it to guide me through everything.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, you're pretty perfect.
You have no morals.
So, one of the complaints, for example, by the way, he's a longtime listener, kind of a friend of the show. He's been to a lot of events. He kind of started the whole thing. I was surprised, but he withdrew his monthly donation because he felt like we were sticking it to him, basically. And one of the complaints was that we take too many days off. So I had to think about that because I can't remember taking a day off. And it turns out we haven't taken any days off. The last time we took a day off is when we moved into this new studio, and even then, and Doc was here, he knows it. I worked up until the point where Doc was like, "You have to cancel the show now. We can't do. Look at you.
We were
You're
in
a
here
mess."
all day long. We were wiring stuff up, and we can almost do it. And it's like 4 o'clock. We can't.
Yeah.
And I know you would have been disappointed because it would have been less than perfect.
Doc was the voice of reason.
Yeah.
We know this is a special occasion.
Yeah.
Right there.
But anyhow, so I'm looking back, and that's the. So we took 1 week off for that, and that's it. We haven't taken.
Excuse me.
We haven't skipped a day in years.
Well,
the time when we skipped it, the time before that, I called in sick after Doc's after Doc turned 50.
Right.
How many years ago was that?
3.
That's the last time. We took a day off, aside from the building.
Yeah, and you didn't like doing that either.
of the
But you know
studio.
what? You just had nothing left in you.
Oh my God, I've never felt so. I'm surprised I lived. Sometimes I think I didn't live. Sometimes I think this has all been the afterlife.
You spawned into a new
What a
being.
terrible afterlife.
From that part. I know. That's why I'm like, God, I hope I'm still alive.
Somebody made her a bigger promise.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, but here's what happens. I understand. What we have here is a PR problem, not a day off.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a day off.
Yeah, it's always somebody
problem.
gets misinformed. Or
Because, we've taken, we've only done 3 shows a month for several years now, since like 2008 or something.
Right.
So there's nothing new there. And what happens is sometimes we jut our Sundays, like the last Sunday of one month and the first Sunday of another month. We make those our off weeks, and we have a little 2-week off there.
So right, you get 6 in a row for that after that.
But it's not an extra off day, even by my math. You fucking retards. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, and then I understand the other part, because sometimes we move the show to Monday. And by my math, if you do a show 24 hours later, it's not the same as an off week. It's not a day off. It's the same amount of shows in a week. So do the math before you complain about things.
Well, I think also as people they plan, I'm going to take off where I got Monday off so I can rage. Oh, you're not having a show, and they're all disappointed.
Yeah.
Maybe
get another show or something.
Well, or maybe you kind of print the schedule, put the schedule out there for the next month.
Well, so that's,
even though it changes, but you know,
no, but that's the thing. That's where I'm saying we have a PR problem here. I wrote in the forum too.
Peon problem,
because people get upset if you don't respond in the forum. You can't just do it on the radio.
When was it posted? Are you responding to something that was posted in 1997?
Probably. And then also what happens is if I just respond to it on the radio, somebody paraphrases me and posts that on the forum, and it's completely wrong. All they do is they pick out the part where I call you idiots, and they post that, and then they're like,
dumb.
See, I told you they don't care about us anymore. Yeah. Justin called us idiots. By the way, I've been calling you idiots since day one.
Right. Why'd you look at me when you said that?
This is not new.
You weren't here day one.
No.
So I can post a schedule, though. Since Scott has come on board, actually our schedule is pretty well planned out months in advance. We just haven't put that on the website. JP, however, posted all over our social media bullshit. But
that's true. And if you're a donor, you get the calendar list.
That's a relatively new feature that we are doing now.
We started last month.
Yeah, you get an email with the...
Yeah,
but anyhow, I'm going to fix that. We figured out where we can put it on the site. There's been broken things on the site, and my site administrator, who's not code, by the way, it's somebody else, the guy who built it, is pretty much off the map. He's disappeared. I can't even get an image changed right now, never mind a new calendar section built. So I'll be hiring somebody to do that, and we'll get the calendar up there. And then you'll know, just like we do, when it's a Sunday show and it's a Monday show and all that. Everything else, look, I don't know. Keep your money. It's fine. I don't know what to tell you.
No, give us your money.
The listeners just don't listen to JP. That's all we're learning right now, too.
A lot of mean things said in there to JP.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. People are very mean-spirited. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Well, it's easy to be mean-spirited when you're anonymous on the internet and you have a stupid name about punching genitalia. It's real easy. But say it to my face.
Targeted anybody, is
Just
it?
come and say it to my face one day.
Tough behind the keyboard.
The old say it to, what are we, in junior high school now?
I love doing that.
Say it to my face!
I love that because dude's like in Minnesota or some shit. I'm never going to meet this guy, but I can tell. Say it to my face. I don't care.
You're never going to Minnesota again?
I love it.
Yeah, well, try saying that to my face.
It's easy to say it now because you're not in my face.
See you in Philly. Can we start talking about homebrew now, please?
Yeah.
I'm itching to homebrew. Let's go.
Another thing.
I just feel like we just entered the 7th grade.
I have to come back to this topic because I don't have a lot of time here at the beginning of the show. So we'll come back. Yeah, that's another complaint, that we don't talk about homebrew anymore. We're different than we used to be.
We've changed.
Well, we don't care. We don't care about our listeners. And that's the overarching theme of that whole forum.
Right. That we don't care. By the way, keep listening. So angry at us.
This is very negative. I feel like...
Shut up, Bevo.
No, I think okay.
All right,
this is just a very negative start.
Yeah, why don't you keep falling down?
Shut up! I'll push you down the stairs.
All right, I'll come back to this topic at the end of the show when we do feedbacks. I don't have time right now, but don't worry, angry listeners. We'll cover all of your grievances here today, and I'll make sure that your message is heard by everybody, even those who didn't care. Today on the show, we've got Dave McLean and Ben Spencer, brewer from Magnolia, Gastropub, and Brewery. They're opening up a new brewery in San Francisco in a cool district down there called the Dog Patch. And they're opening up a new 30-barrel brewery down there, which is pretty exciting. You might remember Dave. He's been on the show before, and he's taught us about cask beers, traditional cask ales. He's got the Gastropub already there in the Haight up in San Francisco. Also, another restaurant and bar called Alembic, where they were into cocktails and things like that. Also a beer place and great small plate food. So just a great beer guy and foodie. We're going to have them on the program today. Also, as we've been doing for the last couple of years, which somebody shit on that forum too, by the way. We've got the candidates for the American Homebrewers Association Governing Committee. It's election time again. There are 2 seats open. By the way, I am running again. You can vote for me as well.
Meet the candidates.
And like we've done for the past several years, we will give each candidate the opportunity to speak their mind on the show. We're doing 3 candidates this week and 3 candidates next week. And then you'll hear from everybody, and you can go vote. You can vote twice. So, you vote once for me, and then you have one other vote for one of these 6 candidates.
Does that mean people can vote 4 times?
Nicer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is my campaign. Now, listen,
so you're on every week on this deal. Huh?
Right. Yeah, right. Well, here's my campaign.
Yeah.
Listen, you idiots.
Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. Vote for me, so I can tell other people not to be stupid.
But if the problem is that we don't have a lot of time, like you're just overworked, so you take more time off, maybe they shouldn't vote for you.
Right.
Then you'll have more free time. Then you won't have to take 2 weeks off in a row.
No, I do just as little on the governing committee as I do around here.
But then you have more time to do less.
I mean,
it's no additional work.
Let's be honest. Shit. I haven't lifted a finger since 2008.
That's quite a platform you're running on.
I think it could work.
That's solid.
I mean, I'm
honesty.
See,
you're appealing to the loser crowd.
It's worked
Which
for
mostly
me
our listeners,
my
I'm
whole
thinking,
life.
Right?
Yeah.
Nah, when it comes to governing, less is more. That's good. Don't do anything.
Yeah,
just
he's a libertarian.
don't do anything.
Yeah.
Right. He's got to let the wheels. I'm just there to grease the wheels, keep things moving.
Yeah.
Move the sludge through the pipes.
Feel the grease.
So tonight we're talking to candidates Bruce Berger here, also Chris Hummert and Steve Cook. So 3 candidates. We'll be talking to Bruce here in just a couple minutes. Let me get through my announcements very quickly so we can do that. Our Brew the Perfect American Pale Ale DVD is back in the store and fully functioning this time.
Yay. I think we should have watched How to Encode the Perfect DVD first.
We should have made that DVD and watched. Yeah, but it's back. It's Matt Brynelson brewing a perfect pale ale, teaching us how to do it. He's not brewing it on a commercial brewery. He's come to my home brewery and brewed it there with me, and he shows us step by step how to brew. It's basically how to brew his Pale 31 recipe, and the recipe's included in the DVD. And I'm proud of the product. I think we did a nice job on it, and I think you'll like it too. Now that you can watch it all the way through without it starting over again at the beginning, like the first batch did. Now it's great. Now you get almost to the end before it starts over.
Right. We fixed that, and there's no extras.
It's a collector's item now.
If you had already pre-ordered one and you got the bad copy and you've not received your new copy yet, just send an email over to JP at thebrewingnetwork.com. The wonderful postal service in this country on occasion loses shipments, and so I know we've gotten some emails from people like they're very angry. Also, where's my DVD? I don't know. I shipped it to you a month ago.
Those should be all taken care of. The last shipment's sitting on the desk because the Postal Service never showed up on Friday.
I see. All right, so there you go. That's available in the Brewing Network store. Check it out. You can sign up and become a recurring donor. Last month's winner, Debbie Serta from Texas, won a $100 gift certificate to Beer, and More Beer.
Why do we know
and
that
if you enter, we know Debbie. Debbie is also, it just so happened, by the way, it's picked randomly. Don't start emailing me about how I'm cheating. Debbie Serta is a governing committee member, and she's a nice lady. And she won the More Beer donation giveaway just by being a recurring monthly donor on the Brewing Network. You're entered to do that, too, for as little as $2 a month. And the more you donate, the more entries you get into it. So congratulations to Debbie, and thank you to our wonderful sponsor, More Beer, who brings you this Sunday session and every Sunday session. Even our days off, they bring you those.
That's true, they do. It's actually not our fault, it's More Beer's fault. They said, you know what, you guys are working way too hard.
Yeah. We took 30 days off last month, and they sponsored every one of them.
Well, they're nice guys.
So there you go. iPhone and Android apps are available. Just search BN Mobile in the Android market or the iTunes or whatever. You can watch all this on justin.tv/Brewing Network. Usually, sometimes. Is it working?
It's on right now, yeah.
Okay.
At least no one's yelled at me that it's on. Maybe I should check the phone first.
How does it look?
How do I look?
It's never on you. And, Doc, I don't know. You look the same.
All right.
Just did a fake smile. All right. Get all these updates and more over on Twitter. And do we have a Twitter game?
We do have a Twitter game.
What is it?
I need to find it now. This whole daylight savings bullshit pisses me off, and I still don't know why we as a nation haven't risen up.
Isn't it daylight spendings now?
I don't know.
Right.
I love daylight savings.
It's okay.
I got up early just to embrace it.
It's typical American politics. We're spending more than we're saving. I don't know. Give me a good reason for daylight savings. I want to know what it is.
That's not why it came about.
What's the point?
Because too many people were wasting daylight hours and they should be out farming is when it kind of came up.
That's what I'm saying. So why do we still have it? It's 2013.
Because it saves daylight hours.
Yeah, I mean, what do you
mean saves daylight hours?
We're going to run out if we don't save them?
It's the same amount of hours in a day. It's the same amount.
You're just like our listeners, JP. Everybody knows how to do something better.
Hours.
Now you just want to give everybody back their daylight.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
It's theirs. They can do what they want. If they want to wake up early, then they can come in an hour early to work.
Not in America. Not in my America.
Yeah, we're told what to do by our oppressors in D.C. And I, for one, I'm not sitting down for it. I'm going to stand up for the whole show until we end daylight savings. I'm going to filibuster daylight savings.
It ended last night at midnight.
Oh, shit.
They're earning interest on your daylight, and you want that back?
I want it back.
And
that's what I asked. I said, when do we get the interest from our saved daylight? When do we get it? Is one day going to be 26 hours for fun? No, it's never going to be.
It's in the Social Security fund.
I hate it.
All right, I got to get to this phone call. So what's our Twitter game?
That was so annoying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now I don't want to do it.
I don't care. Do it anyway.
That's what was my game, is give me a good reason for daylight savings.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I asked it.
Right?
I asked it, but you didn't.
Hey, because Doc likes it. There you go.
So they have to give us a reason in 140 characters for daylight savings.
Every time you ask me that, you always go, 140.
I'm wrong?
It makes me go, oh, is that a dumb game?
I actually like the game. I'm just clarifying that people's answers has to be done in 140
So they have to do it in 140 characters, right?
No.
Is that not enough? I don't know, Dad.
How about they do it in a haiku?
Did you think this through, JP?
No, I didn't. I'm hungover. Leave me alone.
Okay, so give us a good reason for daylight savings.
In a haiku.
Is it daylight savings now or daylight savings ended?
See?
No, it started.
No. You started.
Standard time before. Now it's daylight savings.
How can it now be daylight savings when there's more?
There's not more. There's no more daylight than there was yesterday, idiot. It's the same amount of fucking daylight. It's the same amount. It's just we switch time. It's the same amount.
Then why are we saving it?
I don't know!
It's like we're increasing it. And
Shut up!
Shouldn't it be called, daylight change time?
Yeah,
you should be in marketing.
Yeah, right.
The brilliant name.
We need a marketing department here.
Yeah, by the way, Bevo's in charge of announcing our schedule for the next 6 months. That's why you haven't heard anything.
Shut up.
It has to do when you get up and it's still dark. Therefore, you keep producing. So,
but now we're saving it.
Well, yeah, because it's still dark when you get up, so you get...
First of all, it's never dark when Justin gets up.
I know.
11 o'clock in the afternoon.
That is
morning
the problem here.
Looks the same in December as it does in June.
Yeah,
11 o'clock is always 11 o'clock.
When is it dark at 11 a.m.? I don't know.
I got up early, and I watched my family get up an hour later.
Right.
And I'm like, instead of feeding them breakfast, I fed them lunch.
I got up at 10:55 today.
Exactly.
I'll have you know.
Yes.
And you know why? Daylight savings.
What time do you go to bed?
It's so arbitrary.
10:50. All right. Let's move
Get your
on.
12 hours in.
So that's your Twitter game for today. Send your Twitter to Brewing Network, right?
Yeah.
Is that our handle?
Somebody.
Yeah, Brewing Network. And it's Twitter. It's not a chat game. It's not a Facebook game. It's not a forum game. Don't message me on the forum and tell me your answer, because I don't ever read it. Facebook, it's Twitter. What is it, Twitter?
I think I started everybody off on the wrong
Twitter
foot.
face.
Everybody's very angry now.
Yeah, I'm all hot and bothered now.
I should have started with a more peaceful discussion.
Hey.
I'm still happy.
You are?
No, you're not. You're
catch
still mad
myself.
about your shoes.
Right. All right, let's do this. Let's go to Bruce Berger. He's one of our AHA governing committee candidates. Are you there, Bruce?
I'm there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Thanks for being with us today, man.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sorry you had to listen to us yell and rant for a little while, but it was important.
I was going to say, somebody needs some homebrew or some beer there, guys and girls. Holy cow.
Got to chill.
True. We started drinking late today, and that's the problem. I usually try to encourage drinking at 3, and then we start the show very happy.
Okay.
So, how about you, Bruce? Have you got a homebrew in your hand?
I do not. I was judging yesterday and just want to take a little break from it all.
Okay. Good man. See, Bruce is already, you can tell he's responsible. He's not just drinking away his hangover. You know.
True. Exactly. Yes. I'm flushing it out with a lot of good water today. That's for sure.
So Bruce is running for the American Homebrewers Association governing committee. And just so you know, folks at home, the committee is basically an advisory board. We're not necessarily responsible for the decisions that the AHA ultimately decides upon, but because it's a member organization, they have an advisory board, and that's the governing committee. And you'd be surprised, actually, how many topics they do send our way to ask for our input. They're really very concerned about what members think, and their elected officials, which are the governing committee, are there to represent the members. So that's what Bruce is running for. There's 2 seats open. And Bruce, where are you from? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, I've been with the Barons now for, 5-6 years. Been into homebrewing since 97. And basically would like to take my experience with the Barons and my professional life and put it to some use in the brewing community.
So with the Barons, that your homebrew club, which it's a fairly large club, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just over 200 members.
Okay.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. So you've got some experience there being involved in an organized brewing group.
Yeah. What I've been involved with them is I'm coordinator for I have been coordinator for 2 of their competitions. I'm still one for the large one for Midwinter, which is about 800 entries, and then we have a smaller one which we partner with German Fest. It's a festival that's held here in Wisconsin every year. I'm also one of the managers for our World of Beer Beer Festival, which we hold every June. And I've also organized and taught several of our homebrewing classes and participated in our BJCP judge training classes.
Okay. So quite a bit of organization there. I like it.
Quite a bit.
Now, why run for the governing committee? What do you think you can do there? What are you interested in?
Well, with all of those things, I've been able to establish several relationships in the local brewing industry and so forth. I've also been able to meet new people and be able to get them engaged in the home brewing scene here in Milwaukee. And I think that could be put to good use. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about. I've been selected as a presenter this year at the conference in Philly, which I'm very honored to be doing. And I think I can take that and hopefully put that to help out other people, other organizations that are looking for guidance in that area.
Fantastic. Now, if you get more votes than I do, will you renounce your election and give it to me? This is an important question.
I probably, that would be a really good, cool guy thing to do, right?
Right.
But I don't have a feeling that that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it could be. You never know. If you go to, by the way, if you'd like to vote for Bruce, you can do it now because voting is open. Go to homebrewersassociation.org, click on membership. You'll scroll down there to the governing committee and end up on the election page, and you can see everybody's picture. And I look like a homeless person among a group of professionals. On
it
that
is
page.
a pretty terrible photo of you. Yeah.
Do you want to update that?
So, no, I figured. Look, like Tasty said, I'm kind of on the Slacker platform, and
maybe after a shower?
You should have a question mark that says no image provided. That should be yours.
But you can
you
see.
should point out your positives, and that is you have a heck of a lot more hair than I do.
Well, thank you. I've got that going for me. But that also contributes to the homeless look. At least you look professional, Bruce.
Well, I don't know. I was drinking beer, so there's a beer in my hand. So
Right. So you can go and you can actually read Bruce's statement right there just by clicking on his name, and you see a photo of the gentleman we're speaking to, and you can read a lot about his background and what he's interested in there, and you can also vote for Bruce right now. You can vote for 2 candidates, but we will be interviewing all 6. Honestly, I would encourage you to listen to everybody before actually casting your vote, because these are the people that will represent you, and I think it's a pretty important decision to make for your organization. Anything else, Bruce, that you'd like to say to members to get their vote?
I would just encourage them to get out and vote, and I would appreciate it because I would really like to help you guys out and bring some good suggestions and some new ideas, some stuff that I've learned to the committee.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time, Bruce, and I wish you luck, sir.
Thank you all very much. I wish you too as well, Justin. Take it easy.
Take care, Bruce. Cheers.
Yep. Bye-bye.
There you go. If nothing else, if you're going to the Homebrewers Association, the National Homebrewers Conference, it sounds like you could meet Bruce there, too, because he'll be a speaker there in Philly. I'm excited about Philly, by the way.
It should be good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I've heard...
Get my next one on the phone, will you, please?
I heard...
They're already on the phone.
Oh, thank you.
My friend was in Philly, and I asked him, which cheesesteak shop did you go to, Geno's or Nick's? And he said, none. I went to one that's supposed to be better called Jim's. And that's surprising to me.
Was this a joke?
No, I was just being serious. It was my commentary on.
Sometimes I don't know.
On Philadelphia. What's that supposed to mean?
Okay, very dry joke.
I was trying to help you while you brought the next guest. I was speaking of Philly, I'm excited because I want to try this new Philly cheesesteak shop.
JP, I know you're only going to one, and it's going to be spot on or fail. And which one are you going to?
Well, I might have to try Jim's. It's supposed to be better than Geno's or Nick's, but I might actually.
You're going to judge all of Philadelphia on this, right?
I judge all of Philadelphia just how long the name is and hard to spell. I don't like it.
All right, let's go to our next AHA candidate. And remember, you can go to homebrewersassociation.org and vote now.
I haven't forgotten.
Chris Hummert. Chris, am I saying your name correctly?
You are saying it correctly.
There we go. Chris Hummert is on the line with us now, and he's also running for the AHA governing committee. You can read his profile over on homebrewersassociation.org. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm currently the president of the Oregon Brew Crew. I've served on the board for about the past 6 years, off and on in various positions. Vice president for the past 2 years before that. I've also was part of the committee here in Oregon that put together Senate Bill 444 and allowed us to take homebrew outside of the home again.
Oh, yeah.
That was a crazy idea.
Congratulations on that. Yeah, what a silly thing to ask for.
I know.
Yeah. So president of the Oregon Brew Crew now, that's a big homebrew club, isn't it?
Yeah, we run generally right around 330 members.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's big.
It is big.
And we do get to take the claim as one of the oldest ones, too. So.
Oh, that's right. I've met a few of your members when I go to OBF. You guys are always doing different things, doing a brewing demonstration and things like that. Good guys in your club there.
Yep. That's a big festival that we support along with the Spring Beer and Wine Fest that's coming up here towards the end of the month, too.
Okay. All right. Well, Chris, tell us why you'd like to be on the governing committee.
Well, I'm running basically. If you look at any of the candidates, I'm running because of 3 separate things that I think that's wrong with the AHA and I think that needs to be fixed, and that I would like to help out with. First off is the NHC competition. I mean, everybody pretty much knows who's entered this year about all the problems that were affected this year with it. It's kind of an embarrassment because it's happened twice in a row now. Some places had problems last year, and then we go and we have an even bigger problem this year. So that really needs to be looked at and fixed, and I believe I'm one of the people that can help with that.
So just to clarify a little bit, one of the problems that happened this year is during sign-up, the AHA had made the decision, and in my opinion, a wise decision, to use this new software to help aid the registration process. And unfortunately, contrary to popular opinion that it was a website traffic problem, they actually fixed that after the NHC ticket sales. This snuck up on them as a software problem where it couldn't handle the load. So I just wanted to clear up that's the problem I think that Chris is speaking about. What do you propose, just an idea to fix registration?
Well, there's actually been a couple great ideas that have come out from the forums. I don't want to steal any of their ideas and claim them as my own, but my first one is that I think what we really need to look at we take 33,000 AHA members and jam them all on the same website at the exact same time. I think what we really need to do is we need to close down registration to at least AHA members on the first day. And you're only allowed to register in your home region. After that, second day, it's opened up. AHA and non-AHA members can register wherever, whenever they want to.
Okay.
So, I think that would really drastically help make that website registration problem a lot less drastic than it was this year.
Okay. All right, so some new regulations there would be put into place that the AHA would have to consider.
That would be a very simple and easy thing to implement.
Okay. What else is on your platform, Chris?
Actually, the whole national convention. I went there last year. It was my first time there. Especially on club night, there was a lot of confusion going on. People didn't know what was going on. We had a hard time getting information out from any of the organizers last year on what exactly was expected of us. And there's some things that should really kind of be looked at and re-examined, and I think I'm then for the job. In addition, they need to look at their requirements for actually hosting the convention. As you know, I'm from Portland. We have probably one of the greater beer cultures here in the United States around here, and we don't have the hotel requirement for them. They require so many rooms in a single hotel. We have big national conventions that come through here, bigger than the AHA or the NHC, and they are able to easily host a convention here using a multiple hotel situation. So stuff like that just kind of needs to be re-examined and tweaked.
Okay. Now, and I'm not here to defend the AHA. It's not really my position. I do hear these topics each and every year, though, when we have our meeting. We have monthly phone calls, and definitely this type of planning, it does always come up, and everybody is interested in fresh ideas. I will say that the conference itself, just for members to understand, it's in a unique position right now because it's too big for smaller hotels, as Chris is pointing out, yet not quite large enough yet for the larger conventions. So hotel selection has become quite a challenge for the AHA, and all ideas, I'm sure, would be welcome. Anything else on your platform, Chris?
No, that basically covers most of what I'm looking at. I have those two main things are my big focus, and as I said, I'm pretty much the only person on the ballot that has stated exactly what they want to do and what they want to change.
I will give you that. You're the only person who's gone in there and said, these are problems that I want to fix. I was reading through your profile here, and I also wanted to put you put the fixing the Great American Beer Festival ticket stuff on there, but I did just want to say that you'll have absolutely zero access to that as part of the AHA governing committee. It's not something that's in the AHA scope whatsoever.
Right.
Even though it's a parent company. But so I just wanted a point of clarification there. But so as I've said, there are 2 seats open on the governing committee. Chris here is vying for one of them. It does sound like he has an organizational background, being the president of his homebrew club there in the brew crew, and has a specific platform of things to fix. So you can vote for Chris. Click on his picture there right on the homepage. You can read his profile, the things we've talked about today, and you can vote for him there. Is there anything else you'd like to say to members, Chris, to access their vote?
If I'm just saying that, if any of those issues that I spoke about are near and dear to your heart, and you want to make the AHA a better organization, please give me your vote.
There we go. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
I tell you, I love the idea about changing locations, or opening that up a little bit more. I mean, Anaheim is a perfect place to have NHC.
Anaheim?
What?
Yeah.
They have a convention center. It's right by Disneyland.
Right.
There's a bunch of hotels.
There's three hotels.
But then you have to mingle with those Disneyland people.
Yeah.
You really don't.
You're in the room with two of them.
Chris does bring up an interesting set of challenges that the AHA have in front of them, and it's part of being very popular.
It's a growing business, man.
Not just the hobby of homebrewing, but the main organization of membership, the American Homebrewers Association.
Yeah.
And these topics do come up all the time. So I have sat through numerous conference calls and a couple years of meetings now where I know that their main focus are the very things that Chris is talking about in terms of growth, and that is the competition, which they did make several adjustments this year to be able to take more entries, which they did, by the way, accept more entries this year. But it did have a software issue that I know caused frustration for... I'm on a couple different Homebrew Club email lists, so I see the frustration firsthand, and I know that was difficult. And you can be sure that we'll be talking a lot about that over the next couple months on these meetings, too. If I didn't mention it already... let me get the voting timeline. You must vote by March 31st
it's coming up.
For your candidates.
2.5 weeks?
Yeah. You must also be a member. So if you're not in the AHA, you should be. It's really a wonderful organization. We all have our flaws, but it's really a great organization. They do a lot for you, especially in terms of legislation for homebrewers and things like that, the Homebrew Conference, all that good stuff. So become a member, and then you can vote for me and one other person. Those are
the rules.
Yeah, it's actually auto-filled in.
Yeah, it's right there. If you click the AHA link on the BN homepage, it takes you to the autofill form that has me checked off
already.
And
you cannot uncheck it. It's just checked. It's solid.
Now
you're like an heirloom.
Ballotstuff.php.
I will say this: you may vote for two people, but you can only send in one ballot. You can only vote once. So don't think you can vote for
vote
me
now, vote later.
And then after you've listened to everybody, go back and vote for your other person.
Who would think
If you'd like to hear everybody, wait till after next week's show, then go in and produce one ballot where you vote for me and one other person.
Right. Thank you for your time.
Are we going to interview me as part of the candidacy?
I think we already have.
I think we did last year, the year before, where we actually traded places.
We're doing it now.
Can we have hungover JP interview?
Yeah.
I don't remember my interview, much like I don't remember being on the governing committee for the last 3 years.
Matters.
I think we did a real funny and clever and terribly clever bit where I didn't ask you a single question about AHA, and you just answered it, and that was it.
Oh, clearly it worked. I mean, I've been here for 3 years.
That's right.
Really? The whole 3?
Yeah.
Did you take any time off?
It's felt like it's been 6 years, but it's just been 3. Okay. I do like doing the interviews with the candidates.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's a valuable asset that we bring to the homebrewing community.
One of the dicks in the forum that was writing about the show was like, hey, the only thing that you've done for homebrewing recently is interview the candidates for the AHA, and even that was shit because we had to listen to those idiots. I'm paraphrasing. He didn't call them idiots, but he called them the most boring people on the planet. So on one hand, he's like, oh, it was wonderful that you did that. What a piece of shit you produced. And I'm like...
But basically, he was saying what he wanted out of it was horrible.
Right.
Hey, can we get Ted Nugent on here?
Yeah, we can get anybody. Scott?
Let's get Ted Nugent, please.
That's good at that.
Yeah, do you know a guy, Doc?
So I don't know. But I like doing this. We do have one more. We're going to take a quick break, and then we've got one more AHA candidate to interview so that we can get you fully informed about your governing committee vote. And also, after that, we have Dave McLean and Ben Spencer from Magnolia coming on the show. So hang in there. It's the session, and we'll be right back after our day off.
You're listening to the Brewcasters.
Adventures on the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Hi, I'm Jamel Zanishev, and in addition to my work on the Brewing Network, I write the Style Profile column in every issue of Brew Your Own magazine.
Hi, I'm Sean Paxton, and when I'm not prepping for the Home Brewed Chef on the Brewing Network, you can find me writing articles on how to cook with your home brew for Brew Your Own magazine.
Greetings, cretins. This is John Palmer, and when I'm not writing for Brew Your Own, I'm reading it.
John Palmer, Sean Paxton, Jamil Zanishev. If you love listening to them on the Brewing Network, you'll love reading their articles, tips, and recipes in the pages of Brew Your Own magazine. Join Jamil, John, and Sean 8 times a year in Brew Your Own. And when you subscribe to BYO on the Brewing Network website, half of your subscription price goes right back to the BN to support great beer and food programming. So sign up for Brew Your Own magazine through the BN website today so you can listen and read your way to better homebrew.
Nico, listen, our lawyers said that we had to do this for 1 hour, and after this, we don't have to talk to each other for 3 more months to the next meeting.
Kids, come on, let's get out of here.
I'm supposed to have more lines. I'm the professional. Hey, it's Sully.
And I'm Nico.
And we opened the 21st Amendment 9 years ago at 563 2nd Street in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park, to make great beer and have a great time doing it.
That's right, because to us, the 21st Amendment is more than just the right to make beer. It's the right to experiment, to be innovative, and just do things differently. And so now, we're putting our craft beer in cans.
That's right, cans. You can find our world-famous Hell or High Watermelon Wheat Beer and Brew Free or Die IPA throughout California and Alaska.
And now it's also available on draft at select accounts in the Bay Area.
So next time you're at your local neighborhood pub or good beer store, be sure to ask for 21st Amendment in cans.
Because everyone likes it in the can.
Tasty crack cans.
Tasty crack can.
A vial of White Labs yeast is the key to your best beer. When you open a vial of White Labs yeast, you're giving your beer its best chance for a perfect fermentation. In addition to their already incredible variety of yeasts, White Labs is proud to announce WLP 90, San Diego's super yeast, now available year-round. WLP 90 is super clean, super fast fermenting, with low esters and has a neutral flavor and aroma profile. It's alcohol tolerant and highly flocculent. For more of the latest White Labs news, click over to whitelabs.com, where you can read reviews of yeast, learn in the lab section, and join the customer club. And if you should find yourself in San Diego, White Labs has a brand new training facility for craft brewers and home brewers alike. Whitelabs.com. Discover yeast, nutrients, enzymes, and more for commercial breweries, home brewers, and homebrew stores. White Labs. It's all in the vial. For nearly 15 years, homebrewers have been served by one place in Michigan where you can buy yourself a serial killer grain mill. Adventures in Homebrewing. Did you try all those great Michigan beers at the National Homebrewers Conference in San Diego or Seattle? Adventures in Homebrewing delivered. Did you see a great false bottom in your buddy's cooler or brew kettle? Adventures in Homebrewing delivered that. And did you see that great custom-built brew stand? Yep, Adventures in Homebrewing delivered. Since 1999, Adventures in Homebrewing in Taylor, Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and online at homebrewing.org has been serving homebrewers across the globe. Check out their innovative 2.5-gallon keg with metal handles, great homebrew kits, and the fully adjustable Serial Killer grain mill. Visit them in Philly for the 2013 National Homebrewers Conference. Not going to make it? Check out all the fun of adventures in homebrewing at homebrewing.org. For a limited time, coupon code BNetwork will slam 10% off your order. Bam! Adventures in homebrewing. Join the adventure at the Great Lakes Home for Homebrewing Supplies. Online at homebrewing.org. And don't forget coupon code BNetwork for a limited time. Join the adventure today.
This is www.thebrewingnetwork.com.
Sit down next to it, grab yourself a paper towel, and watch those yeast have sex.
You're listening to the Brewing Network.
The session.
Brewing up our next batch of radio gold.
Right now.
All right, welcome back to the program, and thanks so much for sticking with us here on the session. You're listening to the Brewing Network, of course, and right now we are in the process of interviewing the American Homebrewers Association Governing Committee candidates for 2013, and you get a term of 3 years if elected to the governing committee. And once again, the committee is there to just provide advice and guidance to member decisions that the American Homebrewers Association has to make as they grow and move forward. And right now, we should have Steve Cook on the line, one of the candidates. Steve, you with us?
Yeah, Justin, I'm here.
Thanks for being with us, man.
I appreciate you having me on the show.
No problem. If you go to the members page of homebrewersassociation.org, you'll see a photo of Steve there, and you'll notice that he is far more professional looking than I am, and maybe than anybody else either. You look like you really look like a man who knows what he's doing, Steve.
Well, that's my doctor picture.
Another doctor. Great. I have no chance of winning the election this year. We have people with real opinions and a doctor.
And real jobs.
This is ridiculous. What kind of doctor are you, Steve?
I'm an eye doctor, Justin.
Okay.
And I can't wait to serve on the committee with you.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from, Steve?
Well, I'm from Kansas City. I'm the president of the Kansas City Beermeisters Club. I am very, very involved in competitions. I am the Kansas City Regional NHC chairman this year.
Okay.
So I've seen all the problems with the online registration that the last Chris Hummert talked about. And yes, while they're certainly problematic, one of the things I've been impressed with is that nobody's filled my mailbox up with hate mail. I got a lot of questions from a lot of brewers who tried to register, but they're all understanding, and they're all this is just a great group of people, and they understand the problems that we're having with growth, and I really think organizationally I can help with that, and competitions are my strong suit. It's what I enjoy. I was fortunate enough to win a medal at the first round last year.
Oh,
so
congratulations.
Excited about that.
Yeah.
I would have thought eyeballs were your strong suit.
They used to be.
That's my day job.
Got it.
I hope everything he prints out will be in large font so it's easier to read.
Right, yeah. It's nice of you to say that you know the AHA is working hard on those registration problems. If you are elected and you get to listen in on those conversations, you'll find that you're very right. They do work very hard on that and take it very seriously, even though there were these software problems this time around. It's nice to hear also that you have a lot of experience on the competition side, because that is something that is very much growing for the AHA. So.
Yeah, and I'm anxious. Like I said, I'm anxious to help with that. I've been corresponding with Janice Gross quite a bit about the competition registration, and I'm very well aware that they're on top of it. And one of the things that with any organization, there's always a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and some of it you've alluded to, and I know that happens, and people sometimes get frustrated, but I don't think they realize all the work that goes into it. I've been both on our eye doctor and state convention organization, and I know what's involved in that. So to make it look smooth, and the NHC does a really good job of making it look smooth. They have some growth problems, but again, that's a wonderful thing when you have a growing organization. So
Absolutely.
I've also been on the phone a lot with Gary Glass because I'm trying to get the law changed in Kansas, because we got our club, the Kansas City Beer Meisters, got notified here recently by the Kansas Alcohol Commission that we couldn't have our meetings anymore.
Really?
Because of the same law that Oregon just got passed, is we couldn't take it out of our home.
Oh, what a mess that must be now.
Well, we found a very receptive legislative committee, and I've testified in front of the committee, and we have struck a bargain with the liquor control people, and I think we're going to get this law passed this year.
Fantastic. I hope you do. See, this is what you need when you're dealing with legislation and committees. You need a doctor like Steve who goes in and looks like a real adult to testify in the court. You don't send me in for these things.
No, and why would you?
But they would just pass further laws outlawing.
But I think you both would not be on time.
No?
No. Well, doctors are notoriously like they just make you wait, and you would just be asleep.
And I would be sleeping.
Yeah.
That's true. The Homebrewers Association always needs advice on the legislative side, so that is a wonderful asset. And even though, as you point out, that Janice and Gary are all working very hard on the problems that they're having with the competition, it's actually very important, your input as not only a member of the Homebrewers Association, but if you become a governing committee representative, because they are looking for input and ideas for how to best represent the membership. And I'll give you somewhat of a vague example, but just implementing new regulations like, okay, now only association members can enter. Well, they really want to know, how does the membership feel about that? How does the homebrew community at large feel about that? And that's part of what the governing committee does. So, Steve, you would, you would really have to be in there representing not only your own state but homebrewers at large.
And I'm looking forward to that. I feel like I have a pretty good pulse on what goes on in the Midwest here, and we really don't have a representative from our region right now. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Wonderful. Anything else you'd like to say about why you'd like to be on the committee, or why folks should vote for you, Steve?
Well, like I said, I have a lot of experience on committees like this, and I think, and this one by far sounds to me like way more fun than anything else we've ever done.
Right. You think so?
Yes, I do think so. It is a little more of a challenge. I can tell you, as Justin, I know from watching you do the shows, and from being the president of the Beer Meisters, trying to wrangle a bunch of drunks into getting what you want to get done, keep on task, is always a challenge, but it is great fun, and you got to love the chaos.
Yeah, it does get a little chaotic. Now, are you telling me that the Eye Doctor convention is not as fun as the Homebrewers Conference?
That's a real bore?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Right.
No, it's really not.
Oh, Bevo it works in the eye industry, whatever you call it.
She answers the phone.
No, I don't.
No, you're a nurse or something, aren't you?
I'm a medical assistant.
She's a medical assistant. So if you're ever in need of a medical assistant in Kansas, I'm sure Bevo would be happy to move there, Steve.
Oh, hell yeah.
Drive right out here.
Right. You can vote for Steve Cook, and you can read his bio and why he's running over on homebrewersassociation.org. Keep in mind, you get 2 votes, one for me and one for another candidate.
You could have done that better, one for you and one for me.
Well, he doesn't want to be biased.
Right, Steve. Although I do need glasses, I think. So, Steve, maybe we can cut a deal.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll bring him with me to NHC, or to NHC.
There you go.
He's old. He just needs readers.
Turn a blind eye.
Or this.
All right, Steve, I do wish you luck. Folks, you can go vote for him, homebrewersassociation.org. Thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Justin.
Take care.
Who has more fun, dentists or eye doctors?
Dentists.
Yeah, but who dies sooner? Dentists.
No.
I don't know. I think it's a race.
No. Depends.
Yeah? But you have the highest suicide rate.
It's a murder-suicide. Don't piss me off.
It's a murder-suicide rate.
Seems to be pretty aware of that.
It's not just any
It's still on the table, it sounds like.
Do you really?
Right out. It's just because they have more love to give, and they don't want to see their partners be with anybody else. They have so much love in them, they don't know how to channel it.
Wow. Do you know colleagues that have done this murder-suicide situation, Doc?
Oh, no.
No.
Not I'm copping.
They don't run in your circles.
No.
I'm not worried about you. You're going to be fine. Maybe the murder thing, but I don't think you'll off yourself. You like yourself too much.
Nobody know if I murdered somebody.
Right. You have a lot of property to bury them in.
Yeah.
Well, Doc at least knows how to pull all their teeth so it can't be identified.
And a lot of things.
There you go.
All right. I do encourage you to vote, but I also encourage you to wait until after you've heard all the candidates. We'll be doing the other 3. Is it just 3? There's 7 candidates, though, on top of me running again.
So you can't
I
do
think.
3 and 3. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I can't do the math.
It's not 7 including you?
Are we doing 4 next? I don't know. Scott, how many interviews are we doing next week? 3? 3. Okay.
Yeah. Bevo, don't ever question him on his logic skills.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I will
That's
never
the one
do that
thing
again.
he's good at. Remember
No,
that?
I was doing math there, not logic.
That's not the one thing he's good at.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Bevo?
No, I was just saying you weren't good at it.
Oh,
I did notice Abby looks a lot like you lately.
Fat. And white.
Well.
All right. Go to homebrewersassociation.org. You can read statements from all the candidates. Yeah, there's 7. I'm looking at it now. So I guess I'm just my interview next week. So we'll have 4 interviews next week because you have to interview me again, JP,
I will do that.
About why I'm running once again for the governing
Can we
committee.
just skip that part? Can we do that on
I already know what
off
you do.
week?
Yeah. I'm going to write a whole post about it in our forum.
Yeah.
Good.
That nobody in this room will read.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do that in 140 words.
Yeah.
Our characters.
Dave McLean and Ben Spencer are here from Magnolia. Welcome back to the studio, guys.
Yeah.
It's good to have you. You don't have a forum on your website, do you, Dave?
We do not.
You know what the problem with a forum is, Dave?
There's only 4 of them.
You let people are allowed to speak their mind about what you do there, whether you like it or not. And you have to read that and listen and then lose sleep over it. But I'm fine.
That happens in our restaurant, too.
Do you have a suggestion box?
Sure.
I would take that out if I were you. I mean, why bother? I'm taking down my forum tomorrow because who needs all this? My friend Schumann worked at a restaurant once with a suggestion box. And you put suggestions in there as employees anonymously. Mm-hmm. And the suggestion he put in was, do we really have to wash our hands every time we go to the bathroom? And at the next employee meeting, the manager is reading through the suggestion box, and he goes, Schumann.
But that's the thing about Schumann. You always know a Schumann joke.
You know it. You can see it coming. Yeah. Now, Dave, we've known you for several years now, and I've watched your empire grow. And it's growing once again. You're expanding.
We are expanding.
And you're finally expanding the beer side. And I love you for this.
We've been trying for a while.
Yeah.
We've been struggling with capacity issues for 5 or 6 years.
Right.
So it's been a long-term project.
Well, let's refresh our listeners' memory. The original Magnolia Gastropub and Brewery is up on Haight Street. And the first time I met you, Dave, and we talked to you on the show, you at the time were brewing as well as running the place, which was a silly idea of yours, I think, to do.
It's a noble one.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun if it worked out.
Right. It did work out for quite a while, actually. I'm being mean to you, but it worked out for quite some time. And you brewed on a 7-barrel system. What was it made out of? What are the tanks from?
Some of that was made new for us by Quality Stainless up in Santa Rosa.
Okay.
And then there's some used dairy tanks in there, too.
Okay.
As well as some old English Grundy tanks.
That you basically had to fit down into the basement of Magnolia.
We did, which we revisited a couple months ago when we put a new kettle in and had to pull out the original kettle.
Oh, how did you do that? Yeah, dig a tunnel?
We just did everything in reverse.
Right. That's smart of you.
Yeah, and but involved, the ballet of the glass people coming to take the window out and pulling that grate out and rigging company to pull the old kettle out and bring the new one in. So it was quite an effort.
Right.
But it was kind of fun to revisit all of that.
Sure.
Especially the timing with opening a new place too. It's kind of
you're like, hey, let's do this project at the same time.
It's good to go back and revisit the original build out.
Right.
But
it's a cool little brewery. I've been down into the basement there, but you see, as a home brewer, you see instantly the challenges that you're faced in the small. It's just a small space, is all.
It is, but I think it's not as small as it seems. It's just that the low ceilings make it feel even smaller.
That's true.
If you look at the square footage that we have, it's a reasonable amount of space to have a 7-barrel brewery.
Right.
And it has always served us well and performed really well. It doesn't feel day in, day out like a compromise too much. But it is pretty cramped down there.
Well, and it helped that you hired a midget as a brewer. Ben only being 3.5 feet tall.
Right.
I think really it kind of fit down there.
These tanks are huge.
Right, Ben? That was part of your resume.
Well, my head is constantly hitting the ceiling. I'm pretty much the exact height of the brewery itself. So
right.
So it works out ideally. No jumping jacks.
Right. Yeah. Don't stretch. Just get down there.
Don't get a bright idea.
Yeah.
He wasn't always this tall. He grew.
Right.
It's true. I've put on 3 feet since getting the Magnolia in 2004.
Yeah, I would have fired you for that. You got to get down there and be stealthy. So 7 barrels, and you had already run out of beer just at the pub there. And then, of course, you opened the Alembic just a few blocks up the way, and you were supplying beer for them, too. So Ben's really had his work cut out for him for several years.
It's been a scramble. We ask a lot of that little brewery, and there's nowhere to put another tank in or to do anything down there,
right?
That we aren't already doing. But it's not a bad way to make 1,000 barrels of beer a year. That's about its capacity, and we've been at that capacity for a good chunk of time now. As much as I'm thrilled to be moving into our new space and have all this capacity and 20-foot ceilings, I still love the Magnolia Brewery, and we're as excited about what this change offers for that as much as we are for the opportunity to make a lot more beer in a bigger system.
So just so everybody knows, essentially you're opening a 30-barrel brewery and brew pub in the Dogpatch district down there of San Francisco.
That's right.
Let me tell you what I like about the more beer stuff here. And that is, you guys have always been one of my favorite breweries there. So we invite you to every festival that we do. And we haven't gotten beer from you guys in years. And I'm saying this actually as a compliment. I hope it sounds that way. I know the answer every time because I know you guys have capacity problems. But I still make sure our guys go and ask you for beer for our festivals every time because you brew great beers. And I'm hoping now with the 30-barrel system, we're going to get a yes for our next beer festival.
We can't wait to say yes.
I'm sure this happens to you all the time. There's beer festivals all over the Bay that you guys sometimes can, sometimes can't go to.
A big part of this expansion is just can be boiled down to just figuring out a way to say yes.
Right. Ben gets to get out of the dungeon and go to a beer festival once in a while.
Yeah, he's stoked.
Right?
Indeed.
Now, Ben, will you stay at Magnolia in the Haight, or are you moving on to the new brewery?
We are still working on some formatting issues as to how to staff both breweries at the same time. Obviously, it's quite a bit more going on than we're used to.
Sure.
But I believe a little from column A and a little from column B.
Okay.
There's no desire or intention to do anything less than we've been doing at Magnolia. It'll enable us to dive a little deeper into some styles that we've had on our list for years that we've not been able to hit just due to demand of our current styles.
Right. So that's an excellent point. You must I know you guys have a following, especially there in the Haight. People love their local pub there. And if you can't just stop brewing the Kolsch, people need the Kolsch. It just, if you have some idea for a new beer, but you don't have enough Kolsch on, new beer's not getting made.
Yeah, that's pretty much been the story of the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Okay.
We juggle a lot of crazy wish list ideas of things we'd love to do.
Yeah.
And then we juggle that with the fact that it's time to brew another batch of Bluebell or time to brew another Kolsch. And, so that this frees up a ton of opportunity in the original brewery to have some fun.
Sure.
Not that it's not fun to brew large quantities of Kolsch and Proving Ground also, but that again, it's like getting us to the point where we can say yes to some of the, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this, or wouldn't that be great? And a lot of those times the answer is yeah, but we just don't have the tank space for it. So so both breweries end up having really important roles to play, in that the Haight Street Brewery becomes more of the small batch, experimental, and seasonal brewery.
Right.
And we get to make a lot of beer a lot more efficiently on the big system.
That's fantastic. So you're going to get to, you guys must have a list. You have 7 or 8 years of ideas that are going to go through this 7-barrel system now.
Oh, more years than that. But yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
When does the new system come online?
That's a great question. That's a question I look for the answer to every day.
Can I tell you, Dave, that I did some research on articles about the Dogpatch Brewery over the weekend, and I've seen several dates mentioned, some of them dating back over a year.
Right. Yeah, I wince when I see those.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're the answer is as soon as possible. But we're in the home stretch at this point. It's safe to say.
How long has it been going on?
Construction's been going on for over a year. There were a lot of slow motion steps in the beginning that involved structural engineering and back and forth with the engineers and the permitting folks, and so it was pretty slow going. But the site selection began, in terms of coming down to the dog patch and finding that place and signing a lease. That goes back almost 2 years now.
Okay.
But only in the last 3 or 4 months did construction really heat up, where we had all the permits we needed and we could pretty much just go all out and try to get it built as fast as possible.
Is that a city of San Francisco thing, that their permitting process is difficult, or is it just that region that you were in? Or
that's a tough one to answer, because I think it's a little bit of everything. I think I don't want to just put it all in the blame column of it's such a hard city to do business in, because a lot of people at a lot of different levels of San Francisco government supported the project. People are really it seems to fit right into the city's overall agenda for that neighborhood and the revival of that neighborhood, and we're the kind of tenant that can help hopefully contribute to the neighborhood feel down there. So we had a lot of support along the way too. But at the end of the day, like, people in different departments have jobs to do, and there's a path and there's a route, and I'm feeling pretty zen-like about it. It's been hard, but
I don't think you've had another choice.
But no, all you can do is just accept that.
Yeah,
that's pretty much just the way it is if you're going to open a business.
Is it new construction, the building, or are you retrofitting?
It's a gigantic 1940s era building. It was a can factory. We're occupying a small corner of the building's a whole city block long, and we're just in one corner of it. We take up about 10,000 square feet.
Okay.
It's got dozens times more than that of square footage. It's a huge space.
Is the rest vacant?
No, there's a great little community of kind of similarly minded, independent little businesses. There's some other food businesses that we already are. They're kind of part of our community through the restaurant.
Okay.
Like a chocolate maker upstairs, Ricuti Confections, and there's a bakery up there that we buy bagels or English muffins for the brunch menu at Magnolia. So we already have a winery next door neighbor who is Carl Sutton, nice. Sutton Cellars, who we have his wine on tap at Magnolia, and
great.
So we kind of have this community of people that we're going to share that building with, that we already sort of have a connection to, which is nice.
Is that community why you chose Dog Patch? Because I know it is. Well, you've mentioned that you're part of the development of it for several years now. It's becoming hipper and hipper with more food and more fun.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, because and that's how I found the space. Michael Ricuti, the chocolate maker, knew that I was looking for more space and said, "Oh, you should talk to our landlords here. These guys are awesome." And they are. It's not, you don't hear that every day,
right?
And it was really worth looking into. And it turns out that they, the folks that run the buildings, there's 2 buildings that are across the street from each other. They kind of cultivate a sense of community there and put in a lot of like-minded businesses and are sort of forward-thinking that way. So it was a huge part of choosing that spot. The neighborhood, we were looking for a lot of affordable industrial space combined with a good crowd of people that would support a restaurant bar.
And is there a good residential area there?
There is,
okay.
And it's growing. There's already a nice, long-time Dog Patch residential community. There's some great old Victorians about a block away on a little stretch of Tennessee Street. And then there's a lot of new construction, dwellings going in because of the Mission Bay development. So there's, I can't think of another neighborhood in San Francisco that could have delivered that perfect blend of affordable industrial space and a group of people that would hopefully frequent your brew pub concept.
Right.
So this is going to be more than a production facility. You're going to have some sort of outlet.
Yeah. We're of our 10,000 square feet, about 2,500 are dedicated to a restaurant, brew pub.
Nice. Great.
And the concept for it's barbecue.
Very nice.
And so we're building a smoker and going down that road for the restaurant.
Really? You're a foodie.
I like food.
Yeah.
I eat.
But when I speak to you about your travels and things like that, it's why Magnolia already is a gastropub, because you didn't want it just to be shitty pub food with your great beer. You wanted great food with your great beer. And so
that's totally true.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everybody kind of gets bitten by the brewing bug in different ways for different reasons, and a lot of people are coming, it's an industry full of people that are changing careers and fell in love with brewing, and everybody's got a different story of exactly why and how they got into it. But I think that when the bug bit, it was a really comprehensive, systemic bug that really triggered that entire sort of thought process, not just about beer, but about everything. Like, how do you make what you make and what you eat and drink?
Right.
What goes into it? What are the techniques? It sort of triggered, in hindsight, looking back, it triggered a real sort of snowballing effect of nothing gets overlooked. It's just hard for me to not think about, pickles or a burger or something the same way that we think about how we make beer.
Yeah.
I think that was just the path that I ended up going down when early on when beer captivated me.
Which is this local sourcing of everything as much as possible and knowing where it comes from the ground up, and you'll do the same with the barbecue place.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And whatever degree of kind of passion and obsession that gets put into the brewing side of things. I mean, I think that the cool takeaway from that experience is that you can actually apply that to everything in a restaurant environment, or to anything. But to us, it can inform everything that we do, and it does.
Now, this is a stupid question, but why barbecue? You know the answer. Why not? I mean, it's barbecue.
I know.
but really, you had choices. Why barbecue?
The why not answer is as good as any, because it's just because I love it.
Yeah,
it's really, I think it's a broad category of really amazing food options but I don't see it that well fleshed out and expressed in San Francisco and the Bay Area. I think that
I agree 100%.
I think that we focus a lot on sustainability and the sourcing of the meat that we serve at Magnolia and Alembic, and this is an opportunity to kind of take that in a direction that I don't see a lot of. Sometimes barbecue is one of those things where you have to sort of, if you have a sort of a personal philosophy about the kind of food that you eat, you sort of have to check that at the door. If you're in search of good barbecue, a lot of times this is an opportunity to kind of bring that into the story.
Okay.
Sourcing local meat, and then trying to apply the best barbecue techniques to it. But
is it a specific? JP's more of a barbecue guy than I am, but are you focusing on a region of barbecue? Is it Kansas City barbecue, or?
I've been calling it non-denominational barbecue.
Aha.
Knowing that we will offend just about everybody.
Right.
Because everybody has such passionate views on barbecue.
Right.
And everything is pretty much fighting words at some point, where it's like, if it's not Carolina barbecue or Texas barbecue.
So basically just come out and try us, and if you like it, great.
Yeah, well, I mean, I look at... I have to look at beer and look at the American craft beer movement and how much we've managed to kind of draw from a tons of resources and fuse a lot of different inspirations into what's truly become an American beer culture.
Right.
And I think that none of us grew up in Germany or Belgium or England, and yet we bring those influences into our beer making. And I think that's true of barbecue too. I don't have any business calling my barbecue place Texas or Memphis, because I don't have any personal connection to those areas, but I can still be impressed as hell by the kinds of food that they make.
Sure.
Just like I am with a whole variety of German and Belgian and British beers, and that all can kind of influence my own efforts. And so I think this is the same kind of thing. It's like, I think it's okay to take a step back and not be super regional about it, and kind of hang your hat on any one thing, and say, like, we're gonna give it our all, and hopefully it's gonna be awesome barbecue, and it's gonna have a little bit of influence from a lot of different places.
Did you pick this particular barbecue to complement your style of beer, or did that have a point to it?
I think that the big umbrella is that barbecue and beer go really well together in both directions.
Yeah,
and so I think that it's a good and underexplored area to try to connect with the idea of beer and food pairing. But I think our beer and our barbecue are versatile enough that there'll be a lot of good matches.
Now, just so I have the definitions right, like barbecues, it's just like a big Weber grill with propane tanks and stuff, right? Like, that's barbecue.
Yeah, little smoke box on the side, and then that's fine.
Yeah, like you can just put like smoke chips in there and stuff, and it's barbecue.
Yeah, right. That's all we're going to do.
Yeah, this thing you're having built is just a giant Weber grill.
Yeah,
right.
20 minutes for a big brisket, it's fine.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
Throw some animal on there, we're good,
and then it's fine.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing that if there are sort of fighting words in barbecue, I guess it's that the sort of more northern misappropriation of the word to sort of include grilling,
right?
Direct flame, and really comes down to low and slow and manipulating smoke and temperature.
Sure,
and I think that's kind of I found that as I think about it, I find that also kind of triggering a similar kind of curiosity as what I feel about brewing too. That, again, it's like a batch process that you hopefully get better and better at, but it requires patience, and you take a lot of time to sort of figure out the nuance, as opposed to a la minute, cooking on the line where it's, everything's kind of happening in real time when the customer orders something, or, you
right.
something to order. This is similar, the way I think of brewing too, which is sort of riding something through the whole process and, over a period of extended time, like watching, shepherding some changes along.
Sure. I think that's an excellent comparison. It's also, I feel like both flavor and process-wise, it's very layered. It can be very complex. That outer part of a slow roasted piece of meat and how far the smoke ring goes in and the different layers of flavors, I think goes right along with your comparison of a well-balanced beer or a well-planned beer with the different malts and things like that,
Yeah, totally. I see the similarities. It feels really like the right thing to be doing next on a variety of levels. I'm really excited about it. I think everybody on our team's really excited about it.
I bet. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll talk more beer and food with Dave and Ben from Magnolia. Do a search for it. You can check it out right now. You'll see some old articles about the new facility. You'll find the Magnolia website and the Alembic website and all things involved in the Magnolia empire. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
Listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Hi, I'm Jason Harris, the proud owner here at Keystone Homebrew Supply. We're thrilled to be entering our 20th year of supplying this great industry, and to show you, the Brewing Network Army, how much we appreciate your support, we're offering you 10% off your first order on our website, KeystoneHomebrew.com. Just use coupon code BNARMY at checkout, and I'll get your order out the same day. My goal at Keystone Homebrew Supply has always been to have a complete supply of everything a brewer could want. When you place your order online or when you come into our store, it's our goal to have everything on your list and more. One aspect of KeystoneHomebrew.com that we're really excited about is the ability to fulfill customers' exact grain bills. Do you hate to wait? Keystone Homebrew Supply can get your precious yeast and hops to you within just one day if you live between Connecticut and Virginia, and within 2 days east of the Mississippi. KeystoneHomebrew.com. Coupon code BNARMY. I'm Jason Harris, and I approve this message.
Tin, Getting tired of that same old handcrafted beverages day after day? Are you looking for something with more diversity than your normal beer? Fellow BN Army member Michael Fairbrother, owner of Moonlight Meadery, is reviving an entire beverage category. Mead!
The meads at Moonlight Meadery are all handcrafted from the finest honey on the market and are perfect for any occasion, like weddings, baby showers, or...
Excuse me? Mead is not your average girly drink, mister, and Moonlight Meads can be enjoyed anytime, anywhere. Football games with the guys.
Yeah.
Barbecues with the guys.
Yeah.
Operating power tools with the guys.
Yeah.
Actually, sir, that's really dangerous.
Good point, son.
Next time you have something to celebrate or are just looking for a new tasting experience, pick up a bottle of mead from Moonlight Meadery. Now in 21 states, making over 60 varieties of mead from dry, semi-sweet to sweet.
Break out of that craft beer lull. Grab a bottle of Moonlight Mead. Can't find some? Then ask. No, make that demand some.
Yeah!
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zanishev, and I want to tell you about my favorite heretic beer, Shallow Grave Porter. I love the rich, malty character of this beer. While full and rich, Shallow Grave has an easy drinking finish that isn't too sweet. I've always loved my homebrew porter recipe, so when it's time to brew Heretic Shallow Grave, I started with that in mind. But I tweaked it with all my latest recipe ideas. Just like in homebrewing, I made sure we used only the finest malts that would produce the ideal flavor for this beer. We used select British malts to get the rich chocolate and caramel flavors, and we spared no expense. The result is a beer as dark as a moonless night, with hints of vanilla, coffee, and chocolate, perfect for a cool evening out in the woods. Cheers.
What'd you get?
more brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping?
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
Oh, the Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today.
Because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
What's funny is brewers will say, yeah, I don't brew to style. I'm brewing my own beer. And it's like a German Pilsner, but it's black. Yeah, it's a sports beer. You know?
The home of live beer radio.
TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The
Session.
Tuned into The Session. Because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
All right, welcome back to The Session. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got the boys from Magnolia in the studio today, and they brought beer. You know?
Always love that.
That's how you get invited back to this program, Ben. You bring beer.
And you have nothing better to do.
You know, you can
That's
totally...
how we go.
You can flop in this interview, but we'll invite you back because you brought beer.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
No pressure here.
Before we move on, I wanted to remind you about thatbrewerygame.com. You know, February was a pretty darn good month here in the Bay Area. We had the SF Beer Week. We are at our own broadcast from Celebrator 25th anniversary. And it was the 1-year anniversary of thatbrewerygame.com.
That's right.
And Rob over there tells me that the game population has grown to over 2,000 registered players. That's a lot of...
That's crazy.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Definitely something about brewing your own virtual beer. It's just kind of fun. And but I think some people still have the wrong idea. Part of that is probably my fault because I make fun of you so much for being a gamer,
right.
JP. But they hear that it's a game, and they think of things like Warcraft or Angry Birds.
Oh no, yeah, they think of popular games. That's weird.
And it's not like a cartoony arcade game at all.
No.
The game was not made for gamers. It was made from the ground up for beer brewers. It's pretty much only brewers who play, and many of them don't play any other games. If you can't get out to have a beer and you're stuck behind a computer, thatbrewerygame.com is a great place to find other brewers, hang out, and just talk about brewing. Nothing to install or download. It all just plays right there in the browser. And you can brew your favorite beer style anywhere, and it's always free. You can learn and earn all the virtual brewing equipment and ingredients you need, also for free. So go check it out. You owe it yourself to give it a try, even if, especially if you're not a gamer. Try it anyway. Go to thatbrewerygame.com and hang out with other brewers and make some virtual beer.
Well, give it another couple of years. There'll be some kids in China like farming for virtual hops and trying to sell them
and selling them.
House. Yeah. That's what they do in Warcraft.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
You can buy and sell real things.
You're not supposed
virtual
to,
things?
but there's it's like a lot of Korean and Chinese servers. These kids just get on, they farm for gold for days and days and days, and they'll actually sell you virtual gold for real
money?
dollars. Yeah.
Why aren't you doing that, JP?
Because I don't have the time to commit. It's like they do it like 8 hours a day straight. Just
what about all those days off we take? What are you doing then?
I'm working. I have things to do. On
our days off that we take all month long?
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know the things that I do? Let me tell you.
No. That's enough.
Oh.
All right. Go check out thatbrewerygame.com. All right. So I wanted to go back to this smoker, Dave, because you said you're having it built. You can't just go buy like a
really? I'm interested in this.
Yeah. Are you guys doing like a custom thing or what?
We're actually having it both ways.
Okay.
We're buying a smoker from a great manufacturer in Texas that has a stellar reputation.
Okay.
And that kind of, it'll give us some capacity for doing larger quantities It's got multiple racks, and we can set it up with load it up with brisket and whatnot.
You just walk the cow right in, and turn it on, and just smoke it right there.
It's that big of a smoker.
Live smoking.
Yeah. No one's doing that.
No, it's a new thing.
It's
live
all
smoking.
totally new.
Magnolia Brew Pub and live smokery.
With a window, you can see it.
Wow.
Right. Look at the smoke ring in the cornea of that eye.
Pick your cow.
Horrible.
Pick your cow. We'll walk it in.
Oh, yeah. Just pick your cow in the back.
For a nominal fee, you can write it in.
Oh.
God.
So
Bring the kids.
The big one is the manufactured one.
Yeah, but we couldn't leave well enough alone, and we thought it'd be really cool to build a kind of out of fire brick, something that's a little more versatile that we can do a lot of different stuff with and have some different temperature zones going at the same time, and
right.
The opportunity to experiment with some different woods at the same time, so we can have something going in the commercial smoker and something else in our pit.
Okay,
so we're just about having a lot of toys to
This is what it sounds like
to do it a lot of different ways and see what we like.
That's awesome.
But you should, Dave. I mean, you've been waiting, long enough for this other place to expand the food that you're going to do, the beer you're going to do. Fucking go for it. Get all those toys, man. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's kind of the season right now for us is shopping.
Right.
It's really been a lot of fun. It's been really, it was, a nail biter and a lot of stress getting to this point, like the fundraising and a lot of the site selection, the permitting process. That stuff was not particularly fun, but necessary. But now there's like this little window of opportunity where it really comes down to like selecting details about the brewing equipment and doing things like, trying to find someone to build a smoker from scratch for us.
Right. That's much more fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Now, tell us about the brewery that you guys decided upon then. Is it a brand new brewery? You're buying somebody else's 30-barrel? What are you doing there?
We looked a little bit, but there's not a lot of used stuff out there right now.
Okay.
Or if there is, it doesn't seem to make it to the usual places that it used to. A deal gets made offline somewhere because somebody knows somebody else is outgrowing something. And,
right.
I don't know, just compared it to like 5-10 years ago when it seemed like there were always new, used equipment ads popping up on Pro Brewer and Brewers Forum, stuff like that. Now it's not that common. So whether that's just a rationalization to commission some new equipment or whether that's the fact, or maybe it's both.
Yeah.
We decided to commission some new equipment from Kraftwerk out of Michigan.
Okay.
They're something of a newish company. They're guys that were from Newlands. Up in Canada, and they started a new business called Kraftwerk.
I see,
and they're making our equipment as we speak in Lake Orion, Michigan.
Okay,
and in about 30 to 40 days, it's going to get on a truck and come to the dog patch.
Okay, and will they install it, or do you guys go in there and install something like this?
Just with an IKEA tool, we can just put it all together. I think
they're all very modular now.
Yeah,
one wrench.
It all comes flat packed too. The whole thing is flat packed in boxes, and we have to
right. And there's no words in the directions.
No, it's just a lot of pictures.
Yeah,
with a smiley face.
Yeah,
so it should go fine though.
Right. Although I'm sure the little man has a beard in this one, not like the
he's
IKEA
a brewer.
guy. Yeah,
he better.
Probably some cargo shorts.
Right.
They're sending a couple folks out, and it's a kind of a collaborative effort between our subcontractors, plumber, electrician, those guys, and us and the Kraftwerk people.
So you got Michigan people in San Francisco,
right? Trying to keep us from damaging our new equipment in our enthusiasm to put it all together quickly.
Really, the reason I ask about the installation part too, though, is that you really do have to know the system from the ground up and how it works and be able to fix it when it breaks, because even though it's new, brewing is problematic and it's hard on the equipment and all that. So you will really have to be in there hands-on putting it together with them, I would assume.
Oh, yeah. I think that it probably is a lot of them keeping us from hurting our tanks and us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, it's going to be kid in the candy store style.
Right.
And we're going to want to get everything going as quickly as possible.
Okay.
But no, we're happy to have their help. We need that. I think you need them to play their role in sort of giving us the walk through the system.
Sure.
Got to hand the keys over to you after they're all done. Here you go.
So is it a 3-vessel system, 4 or what are you doing?
It's 2.
2.
It's expandable to 4.
All right, so you got a combo tank for the...
Yeah, so, mash lauter and kettle whirlpool.
Nice.
And And I think a lot of systems of this size and up obviously are, it's not everything's kind of designed in a way that adding that third and or fourth vessel becomes somewhat modular.
So you got a footprint for that if you need to.
Yeah.
And an Allen wrench.
And an extra Allen wrench.
Yeah, that's the second tool.
It's called a skeward.
But our bottleneck won't be the brew house and worrying about stacking up brews in the beginning. It'll be tank space because we're not starting with an unlimited number of fermentation tanks. So there still has to be somewhere to put all the liquid that we make. So we don't need the 4-vessel system to start with.
Have you planned your location in the building so that your footprint there is expandable?
Yes.
You can break down the wall and go next door?
The choice of that particular unit and just even going into that building, were both those choices had a lot to do with kind of expandability and being able to not be landlocked.
Right. What about packaging your beer? And this is something I think our listeners are probably most interested in. Not only listeners here in the Bay Area, but around the country. Are you now going to... right now, you're draft only, mostly at the pub and Alembic. I have occasionally seen your Kolsch at another location, but not very often. What are you going to do now?
Now we'll have a lot of beer. And we have to sell it.
Yeah, you got to move it, right?
Which is something we've always... wanted to do more of. We have a small but I think pretty well positioned draft business around town, mostly in the city, a little bit outside the city, but really 90% in San Francisco.
Okay.
And we have 35 to 50 accounts, of which 25 to 30 are probably active at any one time. A lot of people rotate us in and out along with others, but that's about where we're at. And I think there's a little bit, even to go into that, there's a little bit of robbing Peter to pay Paul, because that's probably beer that we could have and probably should have sold at the pub. Or at least at Alembic, if not the pub.
Yeah.
But it's hard to not want to, we make beer and want to get out there and share it with everybody and sell it. That's why we do what we do. So it's hard to say no to everybody that expresses interest and wants to have our beer on tap at their place. So, for us, the easiest path once we get the new brewery open is to kind of just fill that pipeline and get the draft business up and running faster, being able to service everybody that we want to.
Okay.
And so the packaging is kind of a phase 2 that I expect will land about a year out from the opening of so-called phase 1.
Okay. Right. I like your logic.
Yeah. It's infallible.
That's Justin's strong point.
That's right.
So I somewhere, we're just all swamped right now, and the bandwidth I don't think is there to effectively dive into packaging the way I'd like to.
Okay.
At least not for me personally. There's so much with the build out and the and everything that comes with that. I'd rather just grow the existing draft business and then spend a little time working on the packaging program.
Is 30 barrels at a time a lot to move just on draft, or you don't, or you think you can easily do that? It seems like a lot of beer to me.
I mean, based on how much we wish we had that we don't have, that we know that we could sell if we had.
Right.
It doesn't.
I like your logic.
just full of logic,
right,
all day.
That's what he does at 3 a.m.
Right.
So if we had more beer, we could sell it.
The demand you feel is already there to move 30 barrels easily.
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind we're now, also meeting the new demand of the existing Magnolia, the new restaurant, and the continued demand from Alembic,
right,
sister restaurant. So a lot of that production stays in house and gets sold across the bar, 1 pint at a time.
Right.
Plus our growler business. But we feel.
Okay.
I mean, I'm another thing I do at 3 a.m. when I'm trying to figure out if we're doing the right thing is like trying to figure out exactly how to map out those next growth steps and
sure,
how many more fermenters can we squeeze in here or there versus behind another wall or something like that. So I feel like we're growing at the right rate for us. It doesn't seem like it's too much too fast, but it seems like we'll have something we'll have a place to put all that beer.
Which I guess is an easy trap to get into is just outgrowing yourself. or planning too far ahead, and then you're standing around. You have like 8 fermenters,
right?
And you're like, okay.
And Ben has to now just like stay at home today. Ben, just stay home today.
Yeah, we don't have any work.
Fermenters are full.
Nowhere to put beer.
That's got to be the hard part in this when you're transitioning to a brand new brewery is to control that growth.
Yeah.
Well, stay home, don't brew, come to a radio show.
Right.
Well,
that's on Sundays.
If you look at the all the numbers in craft beer right now, and the growth numbers especially, it would be easy to just assume that everything is going to be 50, 75% growth every year, and you see those numbers every day. If you're looking in those places where those numbers show up, and the sort of cumulative impact on your thinking is kind of one of like, holy crap,
it's never going to end.
It's never going to end.
Yeah.
But I think you have to filter that back down to something a little closer to home, and think about what your own brewery's vision is, and what it should look like and should feel like in some sort of organic level that's not just what's everybody else doing.
Sure.
And so I feel like I'm aiming for that, trying to find that sweet spot that makes sense in our narrative of who we are and where we're going and how we got here.
Have you been bought out by InBev? People want to know. Is that what's happening here?
I'm not allowed to disclose that.
Gag order.
They're talked in the works. Keep it quiet.
No one has dangled any giant corporate checks around like that.
Not yet. Now, if I can ask a little bit, you did mention that you had to do a round of fundraising, and it does beg the question. So, Magnolia and Alembic are not funding. There's not such a cash flow that you were like, yeah, fuck it, let's go spend $4 million on I'm just throwing these numbers out there, on a new brewery and restaurant. You actually had to go out and find money for this too.
Yeah.
That's the tough part.
Yeah, I don't. I certainly wish that we were slowly accumulating a gigantic war chest of cash like that.
Right.
We could somehow fund our next steps in our dream with.
Sure.
But that definitely isn't the case. And, the Olympic's kind of different because it's its own separate entity, its own company. It's sort of a sister restaurant.
Okay.
But in terms of Magnolia, it took a long time to become successful. It took a long time to even threaten to be profitable.
Okay.
It finally got there. But, it doesn't, people, that's a classic thing in the restaurant and bar world, right? People walk by and like, oh, your place is always busy. You must be doing great, and it's better than being empty, but it's still something of a narrow margin business.
Okay.
And so it's not like it produces, massive amounts of cash that can be stockpiled for our next steps. I mean, there's some component of it that's being funded from that, but
sure.
But yeah, we had to go out and raise more money.
Are banks lending to breweries who want to open and start in this economy?
I think it's a case by case basis. We found one that is willing to, and eager to.
Okay.
So there's a debt component to this, and there's also an equity component with people investing. It seems like maybe banks in general are turning the corner in the last 6 months to a year. It's starting to hear and see more lending going on. Historically, banks are kind of famously nervous about restaurants and bars, and so a brewery business that has a significant portion of its business tied to that is, often starting out those conversations at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
But again, we found a bank that's really into what we're doing and wants to help us make it happen.
That's pretty in line with what I've heard when I talk to other brewers as well, that it's only been very recently that banks have become receptive to this sort of thing. And even on small scales, even on much smaller scales than what you're doing, not 30-barrel systems, 7-barrel systems, things like that banks have historically shied away quite a bit from it. So,
yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, the story is that you banks are most likely to lend you money when you don't need it.
Yeah, thanks for nothing.
But in this case, I can't say that because we found a good relationship.
That's great
with the bank, and we're happy to have them on board and helping us.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get on to the more attractive topic of beer, which you brought for us today. I'm having what you brought in the keg.
Me too.
Us, which is very nice of you, and it's a fantastic beer. What did you bring, Ben?
This is our Dark Star Mild. It's the darker version of our session-style English mild ale.
Okay. Oh, it's just got great character to it. Great malt, little roast, caramel, a lot of caramel even, but not sweet caramel, just like toffee caramel. It's great.
For as sessionable as it is, we're definitely able to coax some complexity out of it instead of just turn into a teeny little beer.
What ABV is it?
It's about 3.7.
Wow, that is sessionable.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste 3.7. It's got a lot of body to it.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
And it's got a sharp character to it, which is kind of Burton-y, which is kind of nice.
We are lucky enough to brew with Hachachi water, but do some light treatment of our brewing water in-house.
What do you do? What do you do that?
Burtonizing, adding calcium sulfate and calcium chloride salts.
Yeah, you can't get this out of Hachachi water.
It's fairly neutral, but it's extremely clean and allows the flavors of the ingredients to come out.
It definitely adds another kind of whole side to the flavor of it.
Couldn't agree more.
It's really nice. You know, I've noticed recently about session beer, all this talk of session beer. And
what have you noticed?
JP loves it so much.
I do. I'm the single reason it's been reinvented in the Bay Area. I'm going to claim
he gets out of control.
For the past 7 years.
Well, I kind of have a counter to the... I mean, I know that the whole thing is always like, well, I'd like to be able to drink several beers, and not fall over. But my problem lately has been I also like to drink several beers, and I find myself full before I've caught a buzz.
Yes.
And this is I'm a six-pack down, and I'm like... I'm operating heavy machinery.
Smoke a joint, dude. What can I say?
Gotta add
a cookie.
I need to add a chemical to my regimen.
Yeah, shoot up.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's not Ben's fault. It's that I'm not committed enough to my buzz.
It's called layering.
If you want a buzz, then you actively have to pursue it.
I'm with Justin there. It's like, I love the taste of beer. It's great, but I'm in it for something else.
I don't mind a little bonus every now and then.
Yeah.
The session beer lately, Mission Street Pale Ale. I love this beer. It's you get it at the Trader Joe's, but it's a Firestone Walker beer. I love this beer, but I'm full before I'm buzzed, and it's ridiculous. It's a waste of money.
He's got better things to do with his morning.
I mean, it's 11:30, and I'm completely sober.
Well, stop being a pussy.
That's not right.
You end up drinking.
Right.
You end up drinking booze with your session beer. It's kind of negated.
You've been up since,
part of the session beer thing.
You've been up since 10.
Yeah,
and you got to expect something before 11:30.
Yeah, Ben hasn't seen it, but I'm actually pouring Jack into the mild down here under the table.
Pass it over, buddy.
Right.
So you're openly admitting to jacking under the table.
Yes. Yeah. So tell us more about the malt bill in this beer.
Well, being traditional English brewers, we definitely focus on heritage varieties of malt. The one that we use the most is Maris Otter. So this has a Maris Otter backbone. And then in an effort to continue to build complexity in a overall fairly light-bodied beer, we blend out different types of or different colors of crystal malt, as well as just a little bit of black to add that darker color to it.
Okay.
But this is quite a bit darker.
It's the darker of our two milds.
Yeah, most milds aren't that dark. So
no. Well, there's a pale mild and a dark mild category in England, so it's this is our swing at the darker variety.
And you're not looking for flavor out of that black malt that you put in there? It's just the color?
A slight amount of astringency.
Okay.
But most of the flavors that we're looking to showcase are from the lighter malts and the base.
Got it.
But with Maris Otter, you're able to get out of the way a little bit and not overbuild a specialty malt bill and let the base malt really do what it's designed to do on like more of a rustic level.
Okay.
I was going to say you're probably using Goldings or some kind of English style hop in this beer too.
This is mostly Goldings with a small amount of Challenger in it.
Nice.
And you mentioned crystal malts in it. About what percentage of the malt bill is crystal malt?
I would say about 8%.
Okay.
Between the three different types. And I'm not looking at the recipe sheet as we speak.
No, that's okay. Yeah. I'm asking specifically because of what Doc mentioned, that it has a great amount of body. It's a nice mouthfeel, but it's not sweet not at all. Like with a lot of crystal malt, like it could be.
It's a neat little magic trick.
Yeah, and some of that body is coming from just the Maris Otter base.
Okay.
It's got that nutty kind of niceness to it.
Yeah, and I think that's what Ben's saying about like when we sometimes feel that it's best to get out of the way of that in a lot of cases and just let it dominate.
You don't want to squash that.
Yeah, and then so the black is a little way to get a little color without tipping that delicate balance too far toward the crystal sweetness.
Well, it does add the astringency part where it kind of balances. If you got a little bit too much crystal in there, it's going to
just another layer.
Yeah,
you play with mash temp to get a certain mouthfeel on these beers as well.
We do. We shoot a little bit higher in range because attenuation is obviously gonna knock a 1035 beer down pretty low, and you want to still be able to have flavor and body.
This does not taste like a thin beer at all.
So what is higher? Is that like 154 or?
That is what this beer is actually.
Okay, that's the high range there. What would a low range be? Like 148 is the bottom?
Yeah.
144.
You can go lower, too.
144 is low. If you really want to have a really high beer that's really going to just really get down there.
To really attenuate. You
really
do that
attenuate,
lower temperature.
yeah.
Okay.
There's some Belgian styles that becomes a little more appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or a Kolsch or something like that.
Mhm.
But
yeah.
We've got our English strain of yeast is not a super well attended. It's in part it was chosen for its flocculation and so you don't usually get that with it's always one or the other. So we end up dealing with really robust malt like Maris Otter, and then we have a yeast that's not a really high attenuator. So we might typically tend to go on the low side with a lot of mash temps just because of those two other things. But but in a case like this one, it's nice to go a little bit higher.
So
well, the result's good. I think.
Yeah, it's balancing what you know about your yeast. That if it's going to be a big attenuator or not a big attenuator, and then you can kind of dial in that whole mash temperature. It's all about knowing your system and your yeast.
And continuing to brew the beers over and over without ever settling on this is perfect, because perfect is always out there.
So are you guys just one strain of yeast for pretty much everything? Except for the Kolsch, probably. But
this is what we'd consider our house strain at this point.
Okay.
But, certain other beers dictate needing to use something different. Usually the Belgians and any kind of German ales that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But those always feel like the atypical brew day where there's a different. I mean, for the most part, it's about the relationship that we have between a couple of key ingredients, including this English ale strain.
Are you nervous about like this beer is dialed in, and now you're gonna have to scale it up to the new brewery? Are you worried about that process?
Yeah, totally.
I wasn't until now.
No,
I hadn't thought of that.
Oh wow!
So you mean they're going to come out differently?
Well, these are small beers. There's no place to hide. I mean, it's going to be different. It's going to be different.
No, I'm hugely. I don't know if I'm sure I'm nervous about it, but I'm also spending a lot of time thinking about it, which makes me less nervous.
That's good.
Think things through and figure, but at the end of the day, we're not going to know a lot until we get in there and start brewing.
Right.
And so that is a little nerve-wracking because, we don't. I know that we live in a sort of the luxurious brew pub world for the most part, where we can really celebrate batch to batch differences, and that's kind of become part of our DNA.
Right.
I mean, that's not just marketing speak. We like noticing, agricultural differences in the raw materials or process changes, and that's. As long as we're in the wheelhouse of meeting our quality standards,
right?
A little bit of subtle difference from brew to brew is pretty fun.
Sure.
It changes a little bit. The dynamic changes in a production brewery. Where there are a lot of reasons why you're going for a lot more consistency. How to mesh those two things together becomes like one of my bigger challenges to think about in terms of the needs to be more the need that's there to be more consistent for packaging reasons, for brand awareness, people understanding like when they buy a beer, this is what they're getting. We're talking about subtle differences. We're not talking about major flavor swings one way or the other. So as long as we're again like kind of in that wheelhouse,
and like you said, the quality standard is the most important.
It is. So for me, like one of the challenges of kind of keeping the Magnolia story intact and moving forward is to sort of be able to take that love for the idea that beer is an agricultural product and that we are, celebrating, differences from one crop to the next. And,
right.
We want to take that and then some sort of merge that into the new notion of making a lot more beer and making sure that it's consistent. And and we want to keep that old story alive, though, because that's a big part of who we are.
Well, and anything that's not in the wheelhouse, you just blame Ben anyway.
Definitely the complaint department.
If I were you, I'd hire another person to blame as well. I have JP and Moscow, and
that's true.
It works great. When JP's not enough at fault, I just go right over to Moscow, and I would hire another Ben if I were you, just before you brew that first batch.
Just with a complaint department shirt on or something.
Yeah, it just says it's my fault. on the shirt. Yeah.
And in parentheses, sorry.
Yeah. Right. And if you hire them knowing, if you just tell them up front, listen, all you're really here for is for me to blame.
Right.
They're quite happy with it. It works out fine.
It's in the job description?
Yeah. That it works out fine.
Right. All right.
So.
Thanks for that.
I know you said you guys are still kind of thinking about staffing of the brewery, but do you expect now that you'll have, is this brewery going to operate 7 days a week, 24 hours a day? Do you expect you're going to have really a lot of brewer staff that you're going to hire at the new place?
I mean, I guess it's all relative. I don't know about a lot of staff, but we are going to need a lot. We're going to need people.
Is it just the two of you now, Ben? Do you have an assistant or?
Yeah, we do have a couple other guys. One that runs our growler program, and another that tends to be kind of the right-hand man in the brew house.
Okay.
Who also does some off-site account management stuff as well. So between us all, we kind of try to figure out who's right for each job and put our best foot forward.
Okay. What's the other beer that you brought in the growler that we have here?
We brought two others, so I'm not sure what other growler. Oh, right, the one we're drinking right now.
Yeah, that should be the one you guys have.
It's Bonnie Lee's Best Bitter, and it's another delicate, nuanced English session style bitter.
Is this one dry hopped?
It is not.
It's not.
What's the carbonation level ish in this one?
I'd say in the low 2 range.
Yeah,
like
I was just
2.3, 2.4.
You know what's really nice about this? I can tell it's low, but you got astringency in there, probably from the Burton salts,
right?
And it makes it almost seem like it's carbonated, but it's not.
I wouldn't say it's not carbonated.
Well, no, but
it's also coming out of the growler, so
right.
Well, you get a 2.0 beer, and most people would say it's flat,
watery.
It's flat. But if you carbonate this thing too much, you're not going to get any malts out of it.
Right. We're trying to stay away from the heavy mouthfeel of carbonation getting in the way of the nuances of the rustic flavors we're able to get out of our ingredients.
But
I think Doc's right. I mean,
you're getting the sharpness out of on the tongue, which is not carbonation, which people might perceive it as that.
It makes it brighter.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you get the sulfate accentuating the bitterness, and it gives
it sulfate that comes through.
Satisfying finish, like a dry finish.
It's got to taste like the region it's coming from.
Yeah.
I like turtles.
I think it also has a nice hop character, this beer, more so than the other beer, which is why I asked if it was also dry hopped. I wouldn't call it a hoppy beer, but it has more coming out of it.
Bitters tend to be a little bit higher on the hopping range than milds.
Okay.
Do we have any of that? Can I have some?
It's in a growler by Moscow over
Moscow
there.
has
This is spot on for the style, I think. The Maris quality really comes through nicely.
Moscow.
This is really great, guys.
It's not too much of this, and just the subtleness here just brings it out. Like
esters, malt, hops.
It's almost it fools you on how light it is, but it's not.
It's the same English yeast as the other one as well?
It is.
And what kind of hops are in this?
These are Challenger hops.
Okay. Yeah, I like this beer.
It's really good.
Another 3.5% or something?
I believe this one comes in around 4.1.
10.
Okay.
I don't have any.
I might have to drive home after the show tonight, guys.
You better get working.
Yeah. Before you get full.
Yeah, exactly. Before I get full.
You guys do firkins sometimes at the pub?
We do
like
firkins
this?
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we would do more firkins we have 5 beer engines and built a separate cask cellar when we opened, and really kind of from day one I set out to try to do a lot of cask beer, and looking back, I think like in the beginning it was 2 or 3 engines going at a time was about the most that our business volume could support in terms of turning over beer fast enough. But since in the latter years of the pub, it's we keep 5 going as much as we can. And
will you expand that in the new place? Keep going with the cask philosophy?
Yeah, there'll definitely be a cask program over there as well.
Do you guys dry hop in casks? You do, right, in like that English style?
Yeah.
You do, right out of your serving vessel?
We do.
I love that. That fresh flavor, so awesome.
Yeah. I mean, even just a little dose in a beer that's not necessarily supposed to be all about its dry hop character, just add something.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Complexity.
When you do it, you're using whole flower hops, I assume?
We are.
If you used pellets in a cask, would it be too messy? Does it fall apart too much for the beer?
Yeah, absolutely. They get muddy.
Yeah,
they just dissolve, and then you've got part of one of the things that we pride ourselves on is brilliant cask beer.
Right.
And it's one of the characteristics of a traditional cask ale should be brilliant in your glass. So adding particulate just to pick up aroma can be avoided by using flour. So we usually, some people will put, a muslin sock or something like that, pantyhose, and get some pellets in there. But we choose to go with flour in our dry hopping.
No pantyhose.
No pantyhose.
Use
Not
your
used.
pantyhose.
Not
Pantyhose
used.
are sexy, though.
You can make a T-shirt out of that.
No
All
pantyhose.
cask, no pantyhose.
No pantyhose were hurt in the making of this beer.
Right.
Should we segue into Adam and Eve?
Oh, I do have to do an Adam and Eve live read, yes.
Of course you do.
You guys all right with that?
And you sound surprised every show. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to do that.
Hey, do not criticize my broadcasting prowess,
I wasn't.
JP.
I was simply saying...
That's how you go... That's how I sound like, oh, that's right. Those wonderful sponsors, Adam and Eve. Doesn't it sound like that every time?
No, well, yeah.
Did I do it?
Yes,
again.
it does.
Perfect.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
You see what I did there, Dave? I did something wrong, and I just blamed JP for it.
He turned a frown upside down.
If it didn't work, I would have moved on over to Moscow. So I'm just trying to help you out.
I'm here to learn.
Right.
I wish you'd do it through the auto tuner.
That's what people come to the BN to do, is to learn. AdamandEve.com.
But do they?
You can go to AdamandEve.com right now, and for a limited time.
Yes.
And by limited time, it's probably directly based on how long they remain a sponsor of the Brewing Network, which is directly based on how often you guys use coupon code BNARMY.
That's right.
For a limited time only, you can get 50% off just about any item.
Yeah.
Plus 3 free adult DVDs.
I like how you're focusing directly on me.
3 free adult DVDs.
I need to save money.
From genres such as...
A deep, hardcore, painful anal.
Anal is all the rest I don't think they
hardcore's one.
But anal is a category.
Lesbian.
Lesbian, I think, is a category. Yes.
Big butts.
Big butts is definitely a category. I've seen it.
That's Nate's default.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
My favorite, MILF.
MILF. That's a good category. Yeah. A whole DVD full of MILFs. Several of them.
I don't think waitresses are
I
MILF.
spent a whole afternoon on that.
Bevo?
Gay midget.
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's called fetish.
There is gay, but there's not a gay midget.
It's called fetish.
You didn't look hard enough.
Really? You found it?
Maybe not on Adam and Eve, but I know it exists.
Oh. Well, we're just speaking of the categories
Well, then
from
they
Adam and
need to
Eve.
have it.
Great. Now we're insulting the sponsor selection.
Didn't I tell you she should be in marketing?
Boy, oh boy.
She's really good. She takes care of the customer's needs.
So all sorts of genres, and I encourage you to go check it out. Plus, free shipping. Plus, a free gift. So sensual that you can't even talk about it on internet radio.
Actually, I think it's banned in public.
Where the FCC doesn't
You can't even
exist.
talk about it in public.
But you'll find out about it soon enough.
Yeah. All by using coupon code BNARMY. Use coupon code BNARMY. 50% off, 3 DVDs, free shipping, one item so special. All by using coupon code BNARMY. Go to adamandeve.com right now and check it out. And you can do it from your mobile phone. So
That's right.
if you happen to be sitting on public transit next to...
Grandma or MILF.
Whoever.
A MILF.
Pull it right up on your phone. Do your shopping.
And then don't say anything. Just tilt it ever so slightly. Because you know anyone you're sitting next to is automatically looking at your phone.
Yeah.
Just tilt it.
So what do you think? This?
Yeah,
or that?
right when you pull up the double-sided, suction cup-based European... I don't know.
tea, you just suck it. Yeah.
Right when you pull that up is when you tilt the phone ever so slightly.
And then just give a little wink.
Hey, Bevo, what was that?
AdamandEve.com.
What was that huge size butt plug?
Oh my god, it was so
zero
big.
gauge. By the way, somebody mentioned it in the feedback segment.
Awesome.
We'll be bringing that up later on in the show.
You can wait.
You can't
You're right, I
mention
can.
Can't mention it.
All right, why don't we do this?
Feedback?
Well, I did have one more question before the break.
Oh, let's ask.
Okay.
My question, Dave, is that I'm bringing up... You're not going to sleep tonight because of my stupid questions about what you should be worried about.
Don't you worried about fires?
Aren't you worried? Aren't you worried that right now it's a Sunday and the construction crew's not there and somebody's vandalizing everything you've done?
There's midgets in there.
They're digging the trench, but they're not putting any piping in. They're just filling it in back after they dig it.
Don't you worry about these things, Dave?
I was wondering why it was taking so long. I didn't realize that we had gremlins that were sabotaging our every effort.
No, my question
It's
is...
the new anchor guys.
And I think that this has always been part of your philosophy. You've had control over the beer from beginning to the glass. not having to deal with what a lot of larger breweries have to deal with, which is once the beer leaves the brewery, how it's treated, whose shelf it's sitting on in a warehouse in Fresno, or whatever's happening. With the new brewery, this is going to be one of the first times that you're sending your beer, your little children, out into the world without you. And are you concerned about how, the protocol to take care of your beer and things like this?
Yeah, that's that you hit on one of the major issues that you face when you're dealing with any kind of distribution, large scale or wide or narrow distribution.
Right.
And we deal with. I guess point being, we deal with that a little bit already with just the small number of draft accounts that we have. We still, you still have to follow through and hope and make sure that that lines are being cleaned and beer is being stored at the right temperature, and and those are all things that are happening in somebody else's business, and
right.
So a lot of it comes down to relationships and trust, and I think that the most successful wholesaler manufacturer relationships usually come down to a large degree of trust and making sure that everybody's on the same team with what your beer requires, and then how best to kind of to get it out there and sell it in the right amount of time, and managing the inventory that's sitting in at somebody else's warehouse.
Right.
Those, I mean, they're all. There's no. I don't think there's any easy. I don't think the whole brew pub versus kind of production brewery debate that everybody always sort of over the years. I see more blended concepts now, but it was all in the old days. It was like, you're going to be a production brewery, you're going to be a brew pub, and you could always kind of argue the grass being greener. Well, at least in the brew pub world, I control everything, and I don't have to worry about tap handle and shelf space competition and things like that. And then the other person could argue, well, in the production brewery world, I have to deal with restaurants and kitchens and the HR and food costs and those kind of things. And I think that all of those things are true. I think that we have a new set of variables and a new set of problems to think about.
Sure.
And some of those will probably be challenging to some degree.
Yeah.
And you're right. At the end of the day, it's like the farther away from the brewery your beer gets, the more you worry about it.
Right.
And the more you are desperate fervor and hope is that everybody's going to engage with our beer and try it in its best possible light.
Right.
And so anything that is a possible step away from that is certainly something to lose sleep over.
Sure. Yeah. You guys, don't think about any of these questions I've asked today, Dave. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
It'll all work out.
I just feel like you're in a particularly... Because I know it has been important to you. It's important to every brewer, but it's part of your food philosophy and everything, where you know where it comes from, right to where it's on your plate, and right to where the beer's in your glass. And I really like what you've done in that regard. I think Magnolia has a great name for that. And so I feel like you have loyalty from your customers because of how well you've done. But you probably also have expectations. It's a double-edged sword that you have, is what I think I mean for a brewer like you.
Yeah, no, that's a big challenge of growing, is making sure we grow in a way that doesn't do anything to damage the sort of value of our brand and the passion people seem to have for it.
Right. Do you worry about... You could become the band that was awesome when everyone got to show up and hang out with you in the local bar, and now you're so big... You're not cool anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it's like sending your first kid's at community college. You could kind of keep good reins on him. And the other kid's going to go to the East Coast.
Right.
And he's going to come back kicked out of college before you even know it.
Dogpatch is the East Coast in this story.
It is east of the
allegory.
So.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like now this has turned into an intervention where you guys brought us out here so you can... Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah. You just... I'm pretty sure that you texted your banker and said, fuck it, we're out, during this interview.
Do you ever worry about hardline inspections? You just can't get out, and they're months and months and months, and then it just delays the opening, and then... Do you ever worry about the bank taking back the thing? Do you ever... Do you know how to slit your wrist? Because it's down.
Have you gotten your heart examined lately, Dave? Are you worried about anything, the increased stress?
Do you smell burning wires because it might be a tumor? And you should really check things out. In fact, stay here.
It's not that right.
Don't drive home. Cars are dangerous.
Right. You guys have an EKG machine?
No, but I've been wanting one for 4 years.
Right. Well, that'd be cool for guests when you have
I have a pulse oximeter.
These kind of encounters.
When this happens, yeah. I hope you can tell that we're just concerned for our friend Dave.
Yes,
is what's happening here. We want you to do well.
That's what our show should be. They should just be interventions for people to not progress beyond where they are right now.
So you want to open a brewery, right?
Go in the BN because they will tell you no.
Right.
You're not ready for it.
Okay.
If you made it through us, you're ready.
Well, gentlemen, I thank you so much for being on the program. you are more than welcome to stay. This is the point in the show where we take another break and then come back and bullshit about some other things.
It just goes downhill from
which I'd love to have you here for, but I know you guys live out in the city, and we're way out here in lovely Martinez. Did you have to check Martinez off the list of potential locations for the new Magnolia, Dave?
I'll say that I'd never really looked far outside the city itself.
Yeah.
To me, it was important to stay in San Francisco.
Yeah. But if you were going to, clearly you would have looked at Martinez.
Once I found it on a map,
you would, yeah.
I would have.
Well, you did check off Martinez now on places you've been.
Right.
Right.
It's true.
We have a train station, you know. You could have had your own rail spur like Sierra Nevada. See, had you...
The grain in, beer out.
Yeah.
It's great.
If only I could turn back the site selection clock.
3 years. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming out. We're going to take a quick break. And like I said, if you'd like to stay, we'd love to have you.
And drink more tasty beer.
And drink some more beer. Yeah. We'll try to drain that keg for you. So
We'll try.
Yeah. Where can people go to find out about the new location? Website yet?
We have a little bit of info up on magnoliapub.com.
Okay.
We have a little progress video that we just shot.
Oh, nice.
Some concrete pouring action.
Very exciting.
Construction shots.
Yeah.
A couple more of those will be coming up soon.
Okay.
So we're kind of trying to document all of this. Scott Mason, one of our bartenders at Magnolia, is also a very talented filmmaker, and he's basically got free reign to come and take as much footage as he can.
Awesome.
And he's putting it together into some little progress snippets that we're posting.
Right.
And then,
Can you text me when the electrical goes in? That's what I want to watch.
That's your favorite part?
Yeah. He wants that part.
We'll make a note of that. But yeah, so there's one little video up on the website so far, and we hope to kind of fill people in with all the other steps of the process, all the fun ones. When the crane is lifting something on the roof or the tanks are being rolled in.
Right. When you're yelling at staff about what they fucked up.
Stand
Those are
back.
the things I like.
Lots and lots of yelling.
Yeah, like when the fermenter leg is going to land right on the trench drain or something like that because we measured wrong.
Or it folds under because the guy with the crane didn't lift it right.
Or it crushes someone.
Right.
What else? Let's go around the room.
It's back to the what could possibly go wrong.
I know. Right? This is the worst interview I've ever done, Dave. I just want you to know. I didn't realize how worried about
I need a beer after this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but when it happens, you go, I seen that.
Right.
Saw that coming.
It wasn't so bad.
All right, go to magnoliapub.com and check it out. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got some beer news to do, and I've got your feedback for the week, and I have to address the forum bitching a little more as well. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be back.
Feedback.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Hey brewers, it's planting season. Have you ever dreamt of walking through your own hop garden? Well, look no further than Woodburn, Oregon, and the Crosby Family Hop Farm. Blake Crosby and his family have been passionately growing hops for 5 generations. And right now, they're taking orders for 2013 rhizomes for all retail and wholesale customers. The Crosbys know how to grow hops and are here to help you establish your family's very own successful hop garden. In fact, when you plant a hop rhizome from the Crosbys, you're using the same plant your favorite professional brewer bought his hops from. Friendly professional service, fast shipment, and quality hops at competitive prices. The Crosby family brings all of this to you. Call 503-982-5166 or visit bcrosbyhops.com and let Blake Crosby and the Crosby Hop Farm help make your hop garden a reality. bcrosbyhops.com. Hops from the Crosby family farm to yours.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients, and the best customer service in the business. Cut hours off your brewing sessions by using one of their 11 varieties of famous Williams malt extract. Their new Snap-Lock stainless steel cam-lock fittings will make connecting your pump or heat exchanger quick and easy. Or check out their exclusive paintball tank-based draft beer equipment. They even have their own line of precision hydrometers. Go to williamsbrewing.com to browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy. The Williams way. When you hear Blickman Engineering, think innovation, passion, quality, and customer service. Blickman gear is designed by brewers to give you a sense of pride in your equipment. At Blickman, they know what makes brewing a pain and build gear that makes it fun. Like the intuitive beer gun, a completely different approach to filling bottles. The Therminator Wort Chiller, a new take on a plate chiller that's sized for flow, performance, and the high groundwater temps homebrewers face every day. The Brewmometer, a brilliant weldless thermometer design with brewing parameters right on the dial. The Autosparge, ultimate simplicity for preventing an overflow or running your mash tun dry. And much more, like the modular top-tier brewing stand, conical fermenters, and their Boilermaker brew pots. With more cutting-edge equipment coming soon, keep up with the latest from Blickman at blickmanengineering.com and stay on the cutting edge.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small. Single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
BN Army, HopTech has a great discount waiting for you. Do you often find it difficult to find specific specialty ingredients for your home brew recipes? Well, listen to this. HopTech stocks 59 different grains to choose from, 39 varieties of pellet hops, and 8 kinds of whole leaf hops. And HopTech not only carries Y yeast and White Labs yeast for you, but also Fermentus, 04, 5, 6, 23, 33, and T58 Belgian yeast, plus Cooper's, Nottingham, and Windsor yeasts. Got your recipe ready to go? Pick up some great brew gear like new long and short sleeved shirts, games, and more. HopTech's new website is being updated every day with new items. If you don't see it, call the shop. They're open 6 days a week. BN Army and AHA members get a 10% discount, and active military personnel get 15% off. Visit HopTech.com today for great selection, great service, and a great discount. HopTech.com.
Mix me your 100-grain amber recipe, and I'm going to eat it. And then it can ferment in my gut. It totally works. The beer is almost identical to the grain sandwich.
Your colon won't know what hit it.
The home of live beer radio.
TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to The
Session.
right, welcome back to the program, and thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks to Magnolia for being in the studio today. Dave and Ben are still chilling here for a little while. We're going to do some beer news and some feedback and a couple of things. First, I wanted to mention to you Beersmith homebrewing software. You can go to beersmith.com right now and check it out. It's what we're all using. I was over at Doc's just about a week ago for his brew day and noticed that he had his Beersmith brewing software out. He had created his... you were brewing a brown ale, weren't you?
That was my Newcastle Brown.
Newcastle Brown. And you use the Beersmith software to plan it out now. You can go check it out and get a free 21-day trial. So pick a month where you're going to brew a couple beers and download your trial and check it out.
Yep.
It's a great piece of software. You don't have to calculate things by hand, which, let's face it, who knows how to do that anyway?
You only have 8 fingers. It's like...
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's right. You can brew with confidence and consistency by being able to punch in all of your numbers and your recipes and everything else. Plus, there's a recipe database over on beersmith.com. It's really the most comprehensive brewing software out there. It's up to date. It works on Mac or PC, and I just love it. And in fact, I might brew for the SoCal Homebrew Fest this year.
No way.
I've been tossing it. I got to get my my brew system. What are you wearing on your head, Doc?
Oh, it's my Finn hat.
Oh. Who's that?
Come on.
He doesn't know.
I don't know.
It's actually for Bub, but I'm not sure Bub is watching.
Okay. Anyway, I got to get my brewing software equipment back from Terrence the Black so I can brew, but I think I'm going to brew for SoCal. Because Tasty...
What was Terrence brewing?
Tasty's pussing out on us this year, and he's going to Boonville instead, so we don't have all that Tasty beer going.
Dedication of personal
You are
success.
going to be short on beer. Lots of it, yeah.
Yeah. But I've replaced you with Nathan. Nathan is coming to SoCal this year. Yeah.
Wow.
But I want to brew, so I'm going to be using my Beersmith brewing software. I'm going to get the old More Beer 1550 back from Terrence the Black, and I'm going to brew up a couple batches.
Something like, really refreshing.
Yeah, like a nice pale ale. I've never brewed that
like
before.
A beer. There's a video I know. If you want to brew the perfect pale ale,
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch the DVD that I created.
You should
probably watch it while you're brewing, huh?
And see if I can brew the perfect APA.
Oh, you should.
And
you're going to have to, right? If you use the old video, the old
just the old recipe and show. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And I'm going to brew a second beer, too, I think, but I don't know what. I haven't decided what style yet.
I'm thinking something really refreshing, like a Star Santa Ale.
You should brew a pale ale on your own, and then brew a second pale ale following the instructions of the video.
Well, that's just stupid, because...
They're both going to fail.
Have I not proven already that I'm not... I mean, like I have to prove it any further that I can't brew without the help of others.
No, but it would be a testament to how good the video is.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is all going to be post-video. See, you've changed now.
Well, if it comes out bad, I'm going to lie and say, "Oh no, that was a bit. I didn't watch the video."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to, you can brew on my system if you want, and it'll brew enough of it so you can bring a bunch down there.
But then it won't be me brewing. I know it will happen.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll stand there and I won't say a thing.
Bullshit.
I know.
That's impossible.
Doc and I'll just go shooting in the backyard, and we'll leave you alone.
Right.
Bring back some wild stuff.
So yeah, I think I'm going to brew
wild stallions.
Right, Nate?
Yes.
What are you bringing down to SoCal?
Long, beautiful hair.
Bring down at least 2 beers, hopefully, and an IPA and a carpet filtered porter. No, I don't know yet.
Perfect.
At least 1 beer.
Okay, great. All right, go to beersmith.com right now and check it out. Get your
do it already. Hey, how's that pale ale you brewed?
I didn't brew it yet.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it, right?
Coming up. So before I do feedback, let me go back and address and just finish addressing the recent forum complaints about the. So here's what else was within the forum that I discovered. Apparently, the show has changed so much that we don't talk about homebrewing anymore.
That's true.
That's never come up before.
And so I do want to go back and point out that all of this criticism is fine. I know I'm calling you dicks and everything, but that's just for my own enjoyment. I do like the criticism, but. I mean, you have to think these things through a little bit. When you think about how the show has evolved, and it has evolved, but it had to evolve. How many homebrew topics are there? And how many years are we into this program? We're now 8 years into this program, And what I'm going to keep talking about, I'm going to do all grain again and how to mash and the perfect extract beer. And you have to realize that in order, it's a double-edged complaint here, because one of the complaints is there's not enough shows that we do.
Right.
But then the second complaint is you've evolved and you're not talking about homebrewing enough. Well, I can't do more shows and always do the homebrew topic, because we've done all the homebrew topics. And the thing is, well, in the beginning, there were so many homebrew topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had not covered them yet.
But now we've done it.
We've done them. And I could, if you want me, do you really want me to go back and do another water show?
Well, how about this? How about somebody in the feedback ish or something just says, could you clarify this homebrew topic next show?
And we just Moscow does all the time. He says, send us. You're right, Doc. Send those ideas. If you want something clarified, we've always said send your show ideas to Moscow. But the ideas, as Moscow pointed out in the forum, was that the ideas he gets are, you should have this brewery on, and you should have that brewery on, and you should have my local brewery on, and you should have my local brewery on. Everybody wants their local brewery on.
They make good beer.
So we get...
Well, you're asking the wrong question.
I don't know.
Right. Well, yeah.
If you want a homebrew topic reified on something, and we're not going to put a whole show on it, but...
Well, we might if it's good.
No.
Well, we've always solicited show ideas, and we rarely get show ideas. So if you want to see more homebrew topics on the show, and you don't think we're doing a good job representing homebrewing, pull your head out of your ass long enough to think about something and send it in.
Or if somebody wants to hear something, they don't want to go way back to, archives of 5 years ago.
Dig around for it too.
Well, still, we might have some new insights on it from 5 years ago.
That's true. And so I'm fine rehashing certain topics. But my point is, the show had to evolve to keep the volume of shows being posted. And anyway, it is what it is. By the way, you're a vocal minority. Is I think what my point is.
Yeah,
too,
Doc.
Is that
you're not talking about me. And Moscow again.
We do try our best to get more homebrew information in here and seek out the topics, but we're not a homebrewing magazine, and the magazines are wonderful in their own regard.
Right.
But I am not going to put out a how to brew an alt beer show every year. I'm just not going to do it.
But how else will I know? By the way, I can't take Doc seriously right now because he looks like an old Norman Rockwell painting of like a kid with a toothache.
It's his fin hat.
Yeah,
my fin hat.
Why didn't you clarify that?
I'm going on an adventure time.
Right. That's what I thought too. I was like, why do you have a bandage on your head?
Did you fall down?
Did you not make it
I got ears too.
You and Bevo can't stand up straight?
Rude.
Anyway, we've become the band who's no longer cool because we've made it. I mean, now that I'm very famous and I'm very rich,
you get recognized in your own house several times a day.
Right, I'm very handsome. I am the handsomest man in Martinez.
That's
I don't
my
know.
line. Don't start taking my shit.
Shit.
Well,
you do have all your teeth.
I walked down the street in Martinez today, and I looked at everybody, and I said, you know what? I am the handsomest in Martinez.
Did you stand next to somebody and handsome harder than them just to show them you could?
Just for a minute, yes, I did. And I came away feeling like, hey, I've made it. I don't have to.
I finally found a town, a legitimate town that I'm more handsome in.
Because Pacheco, you couldn't do that.
Well, it's not a real town.
I'm the most famous. I am more famous than the mayor of Martinez. I'll have you know.
Yeah, but he's a better golfer.
What's his name?
And he has his own golf tournament.
See?
They have his own golf clubs?
I don't even know his name.
Mayor,
don't you work on the
bill?
Don't you do?
No, that's the town manager.
You do this. It's a city, Doc.
City manager.
By the way, how fucked up is Martinez that the city manager won't even get his teeth done in the town that he manages?
He goes to Moraga.
Right.
Oh, he lives in Moraga.
So do I.
And he was the Moraga town manager.
Oh, I see.
So
that's a downgrade.
What I'm saying is, we're too cool now, JP, and people are going to complain about that.
It's about time.
Dave, you'll see when you open this new brewery. And you're the handsomest man in the dog patch.
What is that saying?
You're going to get these types of complaints. And they're going to tell you don't care about them anymore. And you're going to have to say, you're right. I don't care about you.
That's the worst marketing for a section of town. Oh, I live in the dog patch. Really? Do you need some money? Do you want to stay with us for a couple months to get back on your feet?
It's a tough name.
It is a tough name.
Why is
there a history behind that?
I think it has an edge to it.
I like it. I mean, it's kind of, but it's like. Do
you know where it came from?
What does that mean?
There's conflicting stories, as with all great history.
Right.
There's one seemingly dominant story about camps over there. I think maybe post-quake or even prior to that. Like it was an industrial area, worker camps, and dogs running around. it was a slaughterhouse district too. It was like where all the meat packing and animal processing was happening. And another story that's part of the lore is that the dogs were wild, dogs running around looking for scraps.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
ghost cows, dude.
Ghost cows.
Ghost cows.
Well, it makes me want to don my cowboy gear and go have a fight at the OK Corral.
Down at the dog patch.
Tell you what, boy, I'm going to meet you at the dog patch at high noon. Right now, I'm going to bust your face in.
I like that.
After you have some barbecue.
After have some barbecue.
Yeah. Right here. I got to go to this here Magnolia. Have some barbecue first.
Got some more beans in there?
Barbecue.
All right, so that's it. Listen, please, post your comments on the forum. I am going to tell you when you're posting lies, which is that we're taking days off. And anyway, yeah, we're doing what we can over here, and we hope you'll continue to listen, as I know most of you will. And I think the point here is on the most handsome person in Martinez.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh my God!
You've got mail.
All right, feedback is brought to you today by Adventures in Homebrewing. Go check them out. New sponsor, a wonderful sponsor, Adventures in Homebrewing, and good dudes over there. Check it out, Adventures in Homebrewing. Here's your feedback for this week. Spider Wrangler writes in. So I think most of us figured that Bevo's interest in the zero-gauge butt plug was just a bit. But then we find out that Sam has an email account called Anal Fisting. Not saying, I'm just saying. Commentary, Bevo?
No.
Okay.
There's no commentary. I'm not actually interested. I was just amazed that they were that big, and Sam has an email called that because he's a freak.
Right.
Yeah. Well.
That he uses for church, right? Wasn't that the story?
Yeah. Yes.
Doesn't he email his church group with Sam at Anal Fisting?
By the way, I think
it's actually like anal butt muncher or something, but it's anal something. Right? The boy's just messed up.
Anal Wonderland.
Nobody at your church
yahoo.com.
has ever questioned him about his email address?
No, because he has like 9 different email addresses, and he just happened to use that one to a church person, but usually he uses his other one, which is like Sam loves the Dodgers or something stupid.
Equally as dumb.
Okay. All right. Alex writes in, dear... I skipped one. Kevin writes in... there's a Steel Panther concert. You think we don't know these things?
Come on, please.
March 23rd in San Francisco. Tickets are $22. Hope to see you all there. I'll be sporting my BN Army hat. Hope to see you there. He hopes to see us there a lot. He wrote.
I hope I see him there, too.
Podcast listener. Not sure if you knew. P.S. Winterfest rocked. Maybe could use your fame and fortune to get them to play for us next year. I could ask. I could call the
Why
Steel.
not?
Yeah, I'm sure
they're probably busy at the House of fucking Blues, but don't worry about it.
I think Michael Stone would return your call.
How big will Winterfest 2014 be with Magnolia beer on tap and Steel Panther on stage?
Dude.
I mean, come on. Now it's happening.
Well, you could sell some tickets.
We are going to the Steel Panther show.
Yes, we are.
I know that JP and Schumann have tickets. Nate and I have tickets. Doc, are you getting tickets?
I already have tickets.
Oh, you got them. Are you bringing your kid?
Yes, I am.
I think that's funny. You're bringing your kid to a Steel Panther show. Ben, are you familiar with Steel Panther?
Loosely.
Yeah. Dave?
That's a good term for that band.
It should be the house band, always on the radio at the new place.
Endless loop?
An endless loop.
Don't they have in Amsterdam a bar called Sticks where all they do is play all fucking Sticks deep tracks?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
it needs to be Steel Panther.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yes, Kevin, podcast listener.
And hat wearer.
We will be going to Steel Panther at the Regency Ballroom.
And loving it, as JP was saying.
Saturday, March 23rd.
When have I ever said that? Do I sound like that also?
Yeah.
All right.
Alex writes in, Dear Brewcasters, I'm wondering if there's going to be a BN booth serving beer at Club Night at NHC. Are you or any of the East Coast listeners putting something together? If so, I'd love to donate some kegs of non-cat vagina beer.
Thank God.
What is that?
What?
Oh, no, cat piss.
It sounds like the most boring beer in the world, I'll be honest.
It won't make it's not catty?
Right, it's not cat vagina.
You guys don't use Simcoe at Magnolia, do you? Ben? Dave?
We actually do.
We do.
You do?
Here and there.
Because I've never tasted cat piss in your beers, so I thought maybe you don't use.
We try to blend out the more urine-y parts of the profile.
Sounds like they know how to use
on
that,
the
huh?
others.
You should teach classes.
You should teach classes
to other brewers about that.
I'll give you a list of brewers to contact.
Yeah, de-urine. Yeah.
If sales are slower than we thought to pick up, we'll work some classes like that into the
That's a good idea.
That's a good beer name.
Use the space fully.
De-urine.
De-urine. Yeah. So I'm going to call my pale ale that I'm brewing for SoCal.
De-urine. Who's D?
So, there was a question in there. Yeah, we do now like to have a Brewing Network club booth at Club Night, but it requires a local club presence for us to do so. It being in Philly, we can't really ship our beer out. Unless Tasty's, he figures these things out all the time ahead of me. He has like a submarine or something.
That's too far.
But you're not getting beer to Philly.
No.
By submarine.
No.
That's good.
Well, no,
they
you have
can
to go
host
down
us.
around the horn and back there.
But same as when we did it in Seattle and other locations, if there's a local Brewing Network club presence that wants to do it, we will provide support by saying, good job.
Yay, friend.
Yeah. Wow, that table looks nice.
Can I have some more?
But we'll figure out how to help you do that.
Which is, oddly enough, a lot like how the AHA competition works. Is it can't happen without local club support. And if the club is too small, it won't happen.
Correct.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
All right, so that was Alex. So, Alex, if you're our local guy,
Alex,
guess what? You just started the BN Club booth at Club Night. You're in charge.
You did it.
We're at Club, so I hereby nominate Alex.
Oh,
can I have a second?
Seconded.
There we go. You are now the president of the Brewing Network Homebrew Club.
Could you put his email on the forum?
Philly region. And you will be setting up the club booth. Please email JP about details.
Huh?
Okay. This guy, writes in.
Some young guy?
I didn't erase anything. That's his fucking name.
Hey, BN, I just became a donor. I'm a fairly new homebrewer. Actually started 5 years ago on a Mr. Beer kit that my wife gave me. For obvious reasons, the results were horrible, and I quit. My wife then got me a Brooklyn Brewing kit.
It's actually not that obvious. What happened?
And
you suck.
I think he means the Mr. Beer kit.
No, the first beer sucked like they all do, but you love your first beer anyway. So.
Not this guy. Got me the Brooklyn Brewing kit, and again, I failed at it and quit again. What a quitter. Then 9 months ago, I found your podcast. Listened to it religiously at work. Frequently visit my local homebrew shop, Hop Tech, in Pleasanton. Did a bunch of 1 gallon extract brews. Love the output with the knowledge that I received from you guys. So now I'm saving up for an 8 gallon brew kettle and wort chiller. Without your help on explaining how easy it really is to homebrew, I wouldn't be where I am now. Well, that's cool. Thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
That's
quit a third time.
Third time's
just my guy. Yeah, don't quit this time.
Nah.
Well, it sounds like now he has a solid homebrew shop behind him in Hop Tech.
Right.
Speaking of handsome people.
His next email will be like, so I'm in AA now. You fucking quitter?
No, he's got to quit that too.
Yeah. Okay. Rusty Nails writes in.
Oof.
You should really cut him.
What's up, guys? I'm going through the old archives and having trouble finding the... You are an idiot. Go through the old archives and having trouble finding the second part of... Did you work on that joke?
No.
Like, since you read the email?
I'll tell you what, that just came
earlier in the
right
week?
out of the gate, buddy. That's
I
the
love
kind
that
of
you
thing that
stopped
happens.
in the middle and had to address it.
I think I wrote that down.
I feel like when you compiled the feedback 4 days ago, you wrote that. You're like, oh, I'm going to make a nails joke.
Actually, that was like 7 hours ago.
All right. Anyway, he says... I'm going through the old archives and having trouble finding the second part of the Upstream Brewing Show. Doc, you might remember this one the most. I would like to also see the pictures that are supposed to be available of the porch that Doc broke his ankle on. Is this still available?
It was retaining wall.
The second part of that show has been lost to history. That is all.
Very deep.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Post it on the forum because someone may have downloaded some of those things, but it's gone. It's in the ether somewhere.
I did see like a grainy video of Bevo on a stripper pole recently, though.
Her head fell off, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, somebody sent me like a really creepy... It looked like a security cam footage.
It was probably... people showed up that night that, I was relatively new to the show, so I wasn't really aware of who was here regularly.
Right.
People showed up that were not like, Paxton was there, so it was probably his camera. He was probably sitting there with his phone, like...
Oh, yeah, he's like
You don't remember it, but you had me take video phone footage of my Palm Pilot, no pun intended.
I see.
So that's what all those are from.
Yeah.
There's only one video camera that was on my fucking Palm Pilot.
And now that video is a lot of other people's Palm Pilot.
It's all grainy. We're not sure
I've
with
never
you.
actually addressed how much I hate you because of that.
You did it.
I know, I'm stupid.
But you did it well.
You do every stupid idea.
I do because I feel like I have to. Like you're you're my boss. Like
it's true.
Hey, Bevo, you should probably marry Sam. All right. Fuck it.
Right.
And have a kid.
All right. Here's a chalupa. Done.
Rude.
But true.
Can I get a chalupa though?
Can I get a what?
All right, Chad writes in, hey, Justin and crew, just wanted to write in and say thanks for everything you do. I'm sitting in the SFO airport right now waiting for a flight to San Luis Obispo, and I've seen 2 Hop Grenade T-shirts walk by along with some other brewery shirts. Really? That's cool. Our shirts are everywhere.
Yeah,
because we're hugely famous.
I'm just amazed that there's a flight to San Luis Obispo.
I'm kind of perturbed.
I'm amazed he took a flight to San Luis Obispo.
Kind of perturbed every time I see a BN shirt and I have to interact with someone like a staff member somewhere and they don't recognize me. It bothers me.
It bothers you.
Yeah,
it's like you don't get recognized.
Like, you know that's my shirt, right? And
do you do that? Do you tell people every time you see
No. I never do. I would never do that.
Tasty does that.
Well, of course.
He's like, hey, by the way, hey, I'm Tasty. By the way,
my favorite is when he does it and people go, who?
And he's like, well, you know.
Well, you get a few of those.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Well, that happened to me early on. We pulled into Sud work, and with the family, my wife even oh, there's one of your shirts. And so we were in there for lunch, and I had to go over and talk to him, and like, yeah, who?
Right.
Yeah, you do that once in a while where you try to introduce yourself to a listener, and they go, I don't. My buddy bought this shirt for me.
Yeah, we were listening to it on the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we don't listen to the Sunday session.
Yeah.
We listen to the good shows.
Right.
Yeah, like lunch meat.
Anyway, the dude's off to Firestone Walker on a Central Coast beer pilgrimage, based on our comments about how good the beer is. It is good. Matt is a hell of a brewer down there.
Yeah.
You can buy his Pale Ale DVD in our store right now.
If you want to be a hell of a brewer. I can't wait for their Pivo Pills to come out in friggin' bottles, dude. That thing is amazing.
That's good beer.
Yeah.
All right. B-Dog writes in, Justin, you know talent hack. Wait while I jump on JP's pet peeve soapbox. Here we go. When the fuck are you going to stop calling it the Anchor Steam Brewery? Anchor Steam is the name of their fucking beer. The company is Anchor Brewing Company. Every time you say, we went over to Anchor Steam, you sound like a fucking douche. Especially when you say it to the Anchor guys. Call it by its rightful name, for Christ's sakes. Suck it, B-Dog.
I wonder if Mark just kind of twitches every time someone does
That
that.
was a good one.
That was pretty good.
Does anybody really care about these things? I hate it when people get into semantics and they're like, it's the Anchor Brewing Company. I cannot believe that you say Anchor Steam Brewing. I mean, okay.
I bet they wouldn't have cared before the corporate, and then now that it's corporate, it's all brand image.
Yeah, but that's JP.
Right. I don't know. Does it bother you when I say the...
No, I didn't even notice it, because I actually do it too, and I want to be a proper person.
Right.
So I make an effort to say the Anchor Brewery.
Right.
But do you every time?
It's not like I say, oh, we're going down to the new Mag Brewery. I mean, you know.
Magnolia.
But like if I say Magnolia Brewing, Dave, and I don't say Magnolia Gastropub and Brewery, does it drive you nuts? Does it make you angry inside?
No.
See?
We're going down to Dog Patch.
And I guarantee you that the Anchor guys, when they hear me say, oh, we went to Anchor Steam, they don't care. They've been hearing stupid people like me say that their whole lives.
They probably say it.
Right.
I mean, for a while, I don't know.
Anyway,
Whatever.
Thank you for the correction. I will work on it. I will put it in my notepad of things to improve upon in my daily...
Add it to the list.
In my daily yoga routine where I go over all the things I need to improve upon, like hire a more handsome staff.
What are you doing? Downward what?
More handsomer.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's impossible.
Uncown writes in. I'm reading it as it's written. Justin, you know talent hack. I've been listening to your little show since 2000. God damn it. Dave, if somebody said, I love that, your little brewery project over there, it's such a cool thing.
Are you brewing beer yet?
Does that bother you? I mean, isn't that demeaning when they say, like, oh yeah, you have that little brewery over there,
You're brewing beer, right?
It doesn't come up very much.
Really? That's weird.
I love that little place you're building over Dog Patch.
Yeah.
Are you guys actually
another
making
thing
beer?
to lose sleep over?
Right.
Add it to the list.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute?
I've been listening to your little show since 2009.
Sounds like a t-shirt.
When my girlfriend downloaded a bunch of your podcasts onto my MP3 player, just before I went backpacking in South America.
I disappeared for 6 months.
It took a while for me to get the inside jokes, but I persevered.
You got to be an insider.
Since listen to you, and he calls us a dirty name, dicking around was marginally better than listening to people vomiting in the aisle on the 20-hour bus rides.
God, South America sounds great. I need to go there.
Was that?
I love it so much. It's the infrastructure is beautiful.
3.5 years later, and I've gone right through all the archives twice and re-listened to some of the Jamil Show episodes. Anyway, I decided not to be as cheap as Moscow, and I signed up as a corporal in the BN Army.
Yeah.
Starts out with a backhanded compliment.
I like that.
But as long as he donates, I don't care.
His forehand is pretty good, though.
So was the vomiting because of the motion sickness or the hemorrhagic fever?
I don't know.
Yes.
I'll have to follow up.
Or the session.
Yeah.
Signed out one hole from Uncown. Grant writes in, hey guys.
Hi, Grant.
This is BJCP Hero, the drunken poker player and clusterfuck co-winner of Drunk of the Week during the Anchorage Brewing Show. I just wanted to let you guys know I've been working as the assistant brewer at Big Dogs Brewing in Las Vegas for the last 3 months, and I've been an avid listener for over 2 years. So obviously our forklift is representing, and I wear a BN Army hat to work more days than not. Our head brewer just asked me the other day what the hop grenade means because he sees it everywhere.
Finally.
I've never been to the Big Dogs Brewery in Las Vegas.
Neither have I.
I've never been to any brewery in Las Vegas.
Neither have I.
None?
I didn't know there was. Maybe I've been to Gordon Biersch.
There's one in a casino, I think, somewhere. Maybe that's Reno.
Yeah, there's a couple around.
I think that's
you
Reno.
You wouldn't even know. No, there's a couple around.
The last couple times I went there, concierges were like, "There's no brewing scene here. Don't bother." They like recommended a tap room, but breweries are almost non-existent. It's pathetic.
Well, he says we're welcome to his brewery anytime.
Let's go right now.
1 love and 2 OJ gloves from Grant. That was his sign out.
2 OJ gloves.
I don't even get our inside jokes anymore.
I don't even think that's an inside joke. It's an inside joke with him and himself.
I see.
And his head brewer.
It's good, because I was beginning to think we were stupid.
Beginning?
Shut up, Bevo.
Okay.
Chris writes in, while I heard about the Brewing Network a couple, 2 or 3 years ago.
Which is it? A couple, 2 or 3?
I like it when people say that. I'm going to have a couple, 2, 3 burgers.
No, a couple, 3.
Yeah, give me a couple of 3. I'll take a couple of 3 burgers if you can spare them.
What do you want? 7 burgers? What do you want from
Is that 2 or 3? Yeah, 1 or 2 is fine.
I've always wanted to be in the right circumstance where it's okay to say that. Like I go into like a session beer. Hey, I'm at Magnolia. There's like 3.2%. I'll have a couple 2, 3 beers.
It's a couple 2, 3%.
God, I want to stab you right now.
You know, who says that?
Oh, man.
Chris from
Apparently people from Jersey. And Chris from Massachusetts.
We're going to hear a lot of that in Philly.
Should I do it in the couple of 2, 3
Cabs
accent?
are here.
Well, I heard about the Brewing Network a couple 2, 3 years ago through some fellow homebrewers.
2 or 3.
2 or 3. I'm a relatively new listener. I've used your last couple weeks off to catch up on old shit through the archives. And I have to say, I can't get enough. I feel like an asshole for not having looked up with you guys sooner.
What was I thinking?
You guys rock. Keep on brewing. He gets more retarded.
Suddenly his medication wore off. Okay, that's all for now, Damo.
I tuned in the last couple of weeks to catch up on old shit. I can't get enough.
You're such an asshole.
You guys need to do more home brewing stuff, though.
Back to the day room. Bye-bye for now.
I like it when you do a couple of 2, 3 shows a month.
Doing Joe is fun.
Okay. That was Chris from Massachusetts. Thank you for writing in, Chris. I'm sorry I made you out to be a retard.
And from the East Coast.
Okay.
Is it?
I don't know who this person is who wrote in, but he says, I've been listening to you locals the last 2 months through the Apple mobile podcast app. I rather enjoy all the pro brewers you had on and have learned brewing tips on every show to translate to the homebrew. Did he type this into Google Translate?
I think so. Because can you pick a longer way to say app?
I learned brewing tips on.
Do it with an English accent. It makes sense.
Oh, I can't.
Yes, you can.
It'll be worse than my other accent.
Well, that's what makes it fun.
Right. Learn homebrewing tips on every show to translate to the homebrewer, etc.
To the one homebrewer.
Anchor Brewing's process of a use for Bud Light. Is this that guy who just does random things?
No, it's too coherent.
I happen to live in Oakland, but was wondering if I deliver beer to Martinez Double D Studios, am I able to get some response-judging on beers, styles I've brewed? Thanks, RV. No. Not if you put it that way.
Is that where he lives?
I have to sit and listen to you for 3 hours just to taste your beer.
Well, he probably better.
So I brewed this beer. What I started with were the raw ingredients that you often use to make up a beer,
and those
include.
Right. I don't measure my grain. I count each grain. So this beer had 10,549 grains of two-row.
How many grains of black malt are used in the dark mild that you brought? Specifically, the grains.
That'd be 48.
See, he knows. A good brewer knows these things. Okay. This is the segment of the show where we insult every one of our listeners.
So we experimented with 49, but it just wasn't good enough.
Too much. 49 was too much, yeah.
It's hard to cut them in half, too.
Especially the dark malts, they just break apart.
Right. Too friable.
Right. DJ writes in, I just finished listening to the Lee Chase Adam Carolla episode that you guys did, and I can't help thinking afterwards, Carolla is a douche. Obviously, he knows he is. It's his shtick, but I just needed to know for sure. Mangria? Really? Give it up already. The man thing is played out. I understand he's a big celebrity and that it's awesome publicity for your show, but he just came across condescending. While you guys might be on a lower popularity level, you are still relative contemporaries. Well, thank you, DJ.
And it wasn't good publicity because he didn't mention it at all.
No, he did.
Oh, he did?
No, yeah.
No.
Remember, I blithered on about everything else, and then he's like, yeah, can we talk about Mangria now?
No, I meant that he was on our show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's true. We got no roundabout publicity out of that.
No.
On a totally different note, it's always brought up that the biggest way to improve your brewing is to control fermentation. Any cost-effective suggestions? I currently have a 4.4 cubic foot converted kegerator, but my 6.5 gallon glass doesn't really fit. Thanks for all the information and entertainment.
Brew smaller batches.
It's all over the forum. There's a bunch of the posts on the forum about how to cool your beer. We could do a whole show on
it. Depends if you want to do it, spend some money on it, or if you just want to try to be inventive and do it on the cheap.
He wants to use the cooler he has now. Aren't there smaller carboys?
Yeah, that's what I said, brew smaller. Or you can put the 6.5 in there and kind of build on top of it. There's certain ones where you can build the door out. There's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah, you kind of take the hinges off and you build a spacer.
Yeah, like a collar or whatever.
Yeah. And they'll either way from out or up. Either way depends on, I don't know what his cooling vessel looks like.
Right.
But there's a lot of inventive ways out there.
Okay. There you go, DJ. Good luck. Simon from Australia writes in, hey, Brewcasters, not that I need to give JP another excuse to rag on Australia, but I just thought you'd all like to know that a case of Budweiser, 24 pieces, he clarifies, in Australia currently costs $46.99.
Is that American money?
And he says that's at one of their discount liquor chains.
As it should be.
Just thought you'd like to know the price some dipshits are willing to pay for tasteless shit. I'm all for drinking what you like, no matter who brews it, but seriously, if you live in Australia and pay almost $50 for a case of Bud, you're fucking high. That is all. Keep up the good work. Suck it, JP. Your oaked oatmeal stout recipe effing rocks.
Oh, that's weird.
I noticed how you highlighted that segment of the email.
It's the most important part of that fucking email, and you know it's true.
But by itself, it wouldn't mean as much.
Where do people find your oaked oatmeal stout recipe?
Well, you can go to my blog, which is moderndaymerrick.blogspot.com.
And it's there?
Yeah.
Didn't you do it on a show or Bevo, what are you, building a house in there?
She keeps forgetting to turn the mic on.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to turn the microphone on, and every time I move, my shoes hit things, and it's just a mess. I'm sorry.
You're a mess today.
Pretty mess.
Didn't we do a show, or there's a Zymergy or something with it?
It was in a Zymergy from a few years back, and then we did a show. I think the show with Shay on Oak is probably where I let it. It's also on the forum. You just got to look for it.
I see. Okay.
JP Okie.
All right, and that's it for feedback today. Feedback was brought to you today by Adventures in Homebrewing.
Adventure time.
New sponsor of ours, and good people over there, so check them out. Why don't we do this, Moscow? I know we've got some beer news to do, but we also have another break to take. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll do the beer news, and we'll end the program. Is the program long enough tonight, do you think, for the listeners, or should it be a 7-hour show to make up for all the days off we take?
I'm not offering any more opinions.
I'm good. I can hang.
Doc's always fine with a 7-hour show. We'll take a very quick break. It's about 4 minutes long. Pay attention to our sponsors. They're good people who bring you this show week in and week out. When we come back, we'll do a little beer news, plus your Drunk of the Week call. So get ready. Call now. We'll put you on hold. Thanks. Bye.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
All right, BN Army, it's trivia time. What's the only homebrew shop with over 1,000 recipe kits, $4.99 shipping on orders over $100, and is also home of the Wolf Shirt? The one and only answer is Austin Homebrew Supply. For over 20 years, they've specialized in creating recipes such as the best-selling Texas Blonde Ale, Apocalypso, Hop Bomb 2.0, and Double Chocolate Stout. And they just recently unveiled their small grain kits that produce 1 gallon of beer. Visit AustinHomebrew.com to browse their extensive catalog of equipment and ingredients. They also have mini clone recipes of your favorite commercial beers. They're the exclusive retailer of BrewVent yeast fuel as well, Yeast Nutrient, and the all-new Bodybuilder. Follow Austin Homebrew Supply on Google Plus to participate in video hangouts on popular brewing topics. So visit AustinHomebrew.com today and make sure you sign up for their weekly email with news and specials. Austin Homebrew Supply, AustinHomebrew.com.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for any beer style. I want a Cicerone. The Cicerone certification program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious, Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Did you know the Brewing Network's very own Code Writing Fool's son, Ryan Wolf, has opened a beer mecca in Missouri? The Wolf Brow House of Beer has hundreds of beers from all over the world and is conveniently close to I-70 in St. Peters. Free tastings Saturdays 4 to 6 p.m. featuring special guests from local breweries. The best build-your-own six-pack around with every style represented. And kegged craft beer available for your kegerator too. There's always something new at the Wolf Brow House of Beer. New and hard to find beer every week. No 2 visits are the same, just like passing out at the Rat Pad.
Hi, this is Ryan from Wolf Brow House of Beer. Mention the Brewing Network when you stop in for some cool free stuff. Mention JP for a swift kick in the ass.
The Wolf Brow House of Beer. Beer with personal service from a member of the BN Army.
This is Code. Visit my son's shop or I'll yank the BN website down.
www.wolfbrow.com. Here's a bite for beer lovers. Soft caramel made with real craft brew and coated in chocolate. And hop drops, hard candies made with real hop oil. Introducing Beer Candy from beercandy.com. Beer Candy's amazing caramels come in 4 mouth-watering flavors. IPA, bitter gold, wrapped in smooth white chocolate. Lager, made with a familiar beer from Boston and coated in milk chocolate. Lambic, soury Belgian goodness full of fresh raspberry and dipped in dark chocolate. And Stout, roasty cocoa chocolate insanity. Hop drops are made with Fuggle
botanicals or Cascade hops and are known as the candy that bites you back. Choose from sampler and full sizes of both and make your mouth jump to life. All at beercandy.com. Hop drops and beer caramels. Satisfy your sweet tooth as only a beer lover could with Beer Candy. Visit beercandy.com today.
And now, Northern Brewer presents What If Homebrewers Ruled the World?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll follow me, I will lead you into the gallery area. Now, the first piece up for sale today is a Jamil Zainasheff original, a bottle of 1997 vintage Evil Twin.
Oh, I see.
A bidding for this one-of-a-kind piece will start at £7,000. And if you'll continue to follow me, ladies and gentlemen, I can show you a rather abstract piece from Bay Area brewer Justin Crossley. It's a German Doppelbock entitled Justin's Giant Bock. The brewer's notes here indicate that this beer had excellent mouthfeel.
That's just a crazy dream. Or is it? With Northern Brewer, a thirsty nation can craft its own ale and water for the greater good of mankind. Northern Brewer, the home of superior customer service and the finest selection of home brewing goods for the future.
Wait till you can pour it out of your own kegerator.
I mean, your friends will look at you with awe.
And it's just hot.
It is?
It's so super hot.
The home of live beer radio.
TheBrewingNetwork.com.
Because like beer,
radio shouldn't suck. You're listening to
The Session.
Reckless
listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks to the Magnolia crew for coming out and hanging with us today. Dave and Ben, good dudes. A couple of the nicest people in brewing, certainly in Bay Area brewing scene. I'm happy to see their success, and very nice of them to come hang out with us. And I just wanted to reiterate that this dark mild of theirs...
It's an easy drinker, isn't it?
I love this beer. It's really well done. It's great. It's a very nice beer. I'm starting to fill up.
Yeah, I'm not buzzed as much as I should be with all this, but
I love this beer. The flavor of it's really amazing.
It's a what they call a session beer, as what it should be. It's got a lot of flavor. You want to drink more.
Yeah,
and
a lot of body and flavor.
Yeah,
I like it. It's good stuff. Go check them out. MagnoliaPub.com.
Did we get an idea when Dog Patch is going to be done?
He didn't really say
about a month
because I think he's nervous about giving dates anymore because it's happened several times over.
Push back,
and just with the permitting process and all that. But
he said they've got about a month to go, hopefully.
Oh,
yeah, but he also, that doesn't sound right either because he said that in 45 days the brewery will be complete in Michigan and then they'll ship it out here to install it. He said that during the interview.
Oh.
So I think we're probably looking at a couple months here.
So at least summertime, maybe we can go over there and hang out.
Love to.
Yeah, I want to check out that custom barbecue.
Yeah.
Dude.
Ooh.
Dave will have us out. We'll go out.
I got my little meat boner going.
Can we do a remote?
Love meat boners.
Remote. You really want to go and work?
No. Yeah, let's just go hang out instead.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Nate. I totally stole your microphone, dude.
That's all right.
Sorry, man.
I'm thinking we could take another day off and just go hang out.
Well, we haven't had
No.
That's all we do anyway.
We haven't had a day off in a long time.
Yeah.
We do?
Let's just take a day off.
Cancel the show.
Can we take
I think we should give a day off.
Does anybody really care if we take a day off anyway? I don't understand. What are you worried about? We're still here. We'll be back.
I mean, that's what they're worried about.
You get what you pay for.
But, you can always talk to us on the forum.
All right. Here we have.
And you can expect a prompt response.
Exactly.
I am liking this dark mild, too, but it really needs a couple more points of alcohol.
I saw some whiskey down there.
Coming from you?
We can throw a couple
I'm trying
more
to be funny again.
I thought you were now you're going to become contradictory, man. You're just going to every 6 months or so just change your opinion entirely.
No, I'm not.
Right. See that? See what he did there, guys? See what he did there?
Jokes 101.
Incredible.
All right.
That was timing.
Let's do a little bit of
timing.
Beer news. I like this segment. Beer news is brought to you today by B. Crosby Hop Farms. Go check them out, B. Crosby Hop Farms. They're selling rhizomes right now. They've been with us for the last couple of years, so right around this time of year. You're actually buying hop rhizomes right from the B. Crosby Hop Farm. They've been growing hops for generations out there, and you can buy them right from the farm. Just go check it out, B. Crosby Hops.
If you have a certain one you want, you better get it now. You'll probably be able to get what you want or get something from them.
Varieties, you mean?
But if you want like a certain one, you might want to get in there now.
Like, do you mean like Hill 7, Row 45?
No, I'm talking about if they've got East Kent Goldings or Cascades or something, they're only going to have so many rhizomes. And if you got your heart set on planting that this year in your garden, you might want to get in there early.
Buy early, buy often.
Yes.
But early is good advice.
They might even send you this super sensual gift.
Right. You want to do a Drunk of the Week call just real quick? This guy's been on hold since the break, so let's do that, and then we'll do the news. Looks like we have Justin from Sacramento on the line. What's happening, Justin?
Hey.
Hello.
Right in our age bracket.
Sounds like me. Yeah. It's like, are you 4 or are you female?
No, sorry.
Or are you for females?
That's my fiance. What's going on?
There we go. Is this Justin?
Dustin with a D.
Oh, Dustin. Why do I ever even read? Why do I have Bevo type anything? Why don't I just have her go? There's a thing on line 1 that you should answer at some point.
It rhymes with Ustin.
If you go to top list, you just be just fine.
That's a good point he makes there. Dustin, I don't know you, but you sound drunk.
I'm pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Who answered the phone?
Yeah, who's giggly puss back there?
That's femalist.
Is it?
That's Mallory. She's nervous. She's nervous to talk to you guys.
Oh.
Well, I can't blame her, but put her on the phone.
Well, listen, when you're speaking to the handsomest man in Martinez,
that's right.
Your nerves sometimes get the best of you. Did I mention...
I just for the first time ever today, and I was disappointed.
What did you do? You beat her for the first time today?
Yeah, what'd you do?
No.
You saw Martinez for the first time? Is that what you said?
I saw the video.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
It's very lackluster.
Definitely should hire a more handsome staff. You said something about that earlier.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Give us another 8 years. Tasty will be dead. We'll put somebody in his seat that looks more like Nathan.
Get an upgrade.
That's probably not an upgrade.
Yeah, whoever's going to be there's going to be called Delicious.
Yeah,
and it'll be
scrumptious. We'll be like the 7 dwarves of bizarre names.
Yeah. So, how drunk are you, Dustin?
I'm like medium. I drink a lot, like every night, so I'm super drunk. I don't do that too often.
And someone still wants to marry your fucking drunk mess?
Right.
I have a problem. I have an emotional problem. I get drunk every night. Someone marry me, please. I'm a desirable man.
She wouldn't leave me for the world. It's crazy.
Yeah. He's functional.
Women are fucked up like that, aren't they, Dustin?
So the guy drinks every night. Leave him alone. No, boy, you should drink every night. You'd be a better person.
I'm just saying, women are kind of messed up like that.
Well, who's making excuses for him drinking every night? I didn't hear that. He just said I drink every night, and you guys are like making it a big deal.
How much, Dustin? How much you weigh? You big fat load drinking every night?
No, I'm like 200 pounds, 6'1".
That's not too bad.
He's overweight.
Well, he's got a gut. He's got a beer gut.
He's almost morbidly obese.
I'm
man
skinnier than JP. So fuck you.
Fucking me won't help anything.
I'm trying to lose my beer gut right now. I'm on a bit of a diet, and I weighed in today. I started a week ago at 194 pounds. I'm 6'2", 194. All of it is in the gut, because everything else is skinny. But the gut, today, huh?
Yeah,
ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
Are you ready for it?
192.
187 on the motherfucking block.
Wow.
Well, you can fluctuate up to 5 pounds daily just in water weight.
Yeah, I know. But it's encouraging for me.
Yeah.
Without you shitting on it.
Just so you know, Dustin's BMI is 27.1, which 30 is obese. So he's technically overweight.
I am?
No, Dustin.
Oh, I thought I was obese. All of a sudden, I was going to run home. Dustin's obese.
Dustin is obese. He's he's overweight. He's borderline obese.
Oh,
yeah. He's fat. Yeah,
good for him.
Oh,
fuck it. He's married.
That's why it's radio.
He doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Dustin, for the rest of this phone call, run in place.
Right. I like that Dustin called in for a little friendly drunk of the week, and suddenly we've just registered him into a weight loss program.
Yeah. Dustin, are you on the form? Well, then fuck you!
Next thing is going to be an intervention.
All right. So you're moderately drunk.
And obese. Moderately.
All right. Well, this has been fun for us.
Yeah, thanks, Dustin.
We're getting even with the listeners this time, aren't we? Yeah.
Oh, hey,
we'll teach them to give us some shit in the forum.
It's true. Let me write down Dustin's name so that he's in the running for Drunk of the Week. You're now officially in the running for Drunk of the Week, Dustin.
Yay!
Give us one reason why we should vote for you. Go ahead, please.
Because I drank while I was at home all homebrew. And a lot of your Drunk of the Week callers say, I had a bomb of this, I had a bomb of that bullshit that they bought. I brewed everything I drank.
I like that. That's a good reason.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a round of applause for that, and I will put it into our consideration box.
Can I ask you a question? What did he say?
Oh, he said... Here, let me interpret it for you.
All right. You sound like a pilot.
I drank all homebrew.
Right.
And everybody else who calls in drink bomber of other things.
Right.
But mine was all homebrew.
Right. So you didn't have the dentures in.
Yeah.
Please listen to shows on the other side of the road, you idiot.
Right.
Right.
That too.
Rabble.
All right, Dustin, you're in the running for Drunk of the Week.
You're right.
friend.
He did sound like a pilot.
Blobber's also on the line for Drunk.
Hi,
Oh,
Blobber.
man. That dude.
What's up, Bloob? Blooby Glop. Did all the power just go out in Canada?
The hat
I don't
fell
know. It
over
couldn't
his
maybe
eyes.
not be Blobber. Maybe his name's Steve. Buy me a phone that doesn't suck.
Wait, go get your
Hello?
ears checked. Oh, hey, Blobber.
Hi.
Hey, we just been waiting for you here. What's happening?
He had to go get another beer.
Oh, I'm doing just fine.
I miss Blobber. We haven't heard from him in quite some time.
I have.
Oh,
I have.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw him.
yeah, it's because you didn't come to. Oh crap! My computer just died. You guys didn't. You didn't come to the thing there with the
Disneyland.
the mouse.
Right. Yeah, if you would hold it at another at a location that's a little more adult friendly, I'd be there every time. Blobber Glop.
It is adult friendly. Everyone's happy there.
That's bullshit. I've been there. Nobody's happy there. You're happy for an hour.
Until you find out there's
You're
no alcohol.
happy, yeah.
Right.
DCA has plenty of algae.
Blobber, of course, is talking
Hello?
about the trip to Disneyland that he recently took with other members of the BN staff and
That's true.
some listeners.
Computer is dead.
Oh, boy. I think Blobber's drunk.
He's pretty hammered. That's for sure.
Yes.
What have you been drinking? Like, not a list or anything,
I
but like...
had a Jolly Pumpkin beer, which was very, very good.
Yeah.
And then I had a Paz Blue Ribbon because it was very, very good as well.
That's not homebrew either.
And a Mary Lou Retton. Sound like.
No, I didn't drink any home brew because I have no time to brew beer because
You're a very busy man.
I unfortunately.
You're very important.
Because I would love to home brew like 24/7 and all the time, but
And all the time.
But we can't all be tasty.
Both of those
A couple, 2, 3 times.
I would love to brew 24/7 and all the time.
And a couple of 2, 3.
Yeah.
Couple few.
Couple of few times. Couple of many.
and
Once or
and a
twice.
Mexican who did not steal my bike gave me a beer when I was in Disneyland.
Oh, you met
And,
you met our Mexicans.
Steve-O.
Oh yes, I did, and they're fantastic.
And they are
But
upstanding
I am
young
missing
gentlemen.
a wallet.
I will have you know.
They are a handful.
Yeah, but I'm missing a wallet, so I'm not counting that out.
That could have been JP.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we went to the brewery while we were all down. Went to their brand new tap room.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw pictures.
It's rad.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not the industrial spot I remember.
No, it is. It's in the same spot.
I know, but it doesn't look like the.
No, they like carved out a whole section of their brewery, and I mean, last time I was there was 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh yeah,
and it was like just a little bar, and there's the mash tun right next to you, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, and you're hanging out by the barrels. Not anymore. It's like just a big fucking room with a bunch of windows, and there's one line for beer, and yeah, they did a great job.
That was a really good description. It's like a big fucking room with a bunch of windows and a line.
Yeah,
well, it's like walking into a coffee shop. Huh?
Yeah.
And they did a great job.
No, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were there.
I'll be down there next
Like-
month. I'm gonna hit.
You really
that.
should. We got to call cabs, and then we got to run around the place yelling, "Cabs are here!"
Cabs here!
That was the first. It was a beautiful moment.
Nice. I like
in
that.
the middle of nowhere.
It's not nowhere.
Blob, on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you tonight?
Metric?
10 being the drunkest we've ever heard
probably,
you.
Is that metric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8.5, close enough. Maybe even a 9.
Just with a Jolly Pumpkin and a Pabst and a couple of Pabsts?
He's like 8
No.
Abby weighs more than Blobber.
No.
You've been hitting the scotch again?
No. I'm drinking. Steve-O gave me a Firestone Walker Cava.
I don't know.
Succuba or whatever the
Abacus.
fuck it is.
Yeah, Succuba.
I like Blobber's name. Succuba's much classier than Succuba or whatever it is.
What is it?
It's something like that.
Barley wine.
It's a barley wine.
No, but
Nate,
what's the name?
Nate, what's the name? Do you know it?
Abacus.
Oh, Abacus.
No, isn't that a blend? Because it has the little double S.
Oh, yeah.
Succuba.
Succuba.
Or was it Chupacabra?
Let's go with Chupacabra.
I sure hope it's Sucaba.
I want to look up how to fucking pronounce it. Let's call Matt on his cell phone right now.
Oh, Matt and his wife had a baby. Congratulations to the Brennelsons.
Babies.
Because there's a new brewer baby in the world.
Yes.
All right, so you had a Sucaba.
No, it is Abacus. Sucaba, pronounced Abacus.
If Steve-O gives it to you, it's a Sucaba.
Really good.
Right.
How do you say that in French?
I got this Sucaba, man. For Joe.
Yeah, and it's not a session beer, man. It's 12.5%, man.
Is that your Californian impression?
That's California Mexican.
That's my Mexican expression, man.
Oh. You're the only Canadian Mexican I've ever heard. Wow, that's a good accent.
We're surrounding you, man.
Hey, man. Yeah. Hey, buddy.
It's still real polite.
Yourself, man.
All Canadian Mexicans have a lisp, and they come from the valley.
Oh, and they have a voice only dogs can hear mostly.
And they cry a lot.
Oh, my God.
All right, Blob, you're in the running, man.
Yeah, you are.
Just a second here.
Yeah.
Before we get carried away.
Right.
Is Bevo around? Is Abby around?
Bevo's in her booth. Abigail is downstairs.
She can hear this, right? There's audio down there.
But she can hear it. That's
she can
true.
hear this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I just want to see her. Fuck! I'm not going to see her expression on her face. Oh well, fuck it.
After you said
Sam will translate it to you in retard.
He does speak retard fluently.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is for Abby.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you know, in the tiki room, in the tiki room, all the birds sing the words and the flowers croon.
She's smiling.
In the tiki room.
Dude, she was actually, her mouth was open and she got it, and she actually started laughing and dancing along.
You have her full attention, Blobber. Good job.
Oh, I know that because she loves this place.
Okay. Well.
That was real cute.
Listeners everywhere, I apologize.
She's singing it, apparently. She's saying, tiki room.
She's singing it also. All right, Blobber, thank you very much, my friend.
Woo!
I do miss the kid.
Hey, Abby, she's downstairs.
I wish he would come to NHC.
NHC's terrible.
Is he coming? It's not terrible. It's amazing, and I wish he would come.
When we said goodbye, he said, see you at NHC, maybe.
Yeah,
So,
he's
it's not like it's that far.
Going to try.
It's not too far.
Not even out of the time zone.
Let's do some beer news, Moskowitz.
All righty. Well, Montana.
I already love it.
Yeah, it's a good story. They currently rank second in the U.S. in terms of breweries per capita, believe it or not. But
I'm surprised by that.
they don't have a capita.
Oh,
that's exactly
their capita
right.
is very low. I see.
Pending legislation there is now threatening the vibrant craft beer scene, unfortunately. So to understand what's happening, let me explain briefly. When a brewery in Montana gets a license to produce beer, it's also granted permission to have a tasting room on the premise. It's part of the brewery license. There's all sorts of rules, though, like you can only serve a customer 3 pints a day. You can only be open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., etc. So what happened is the Montana Tavern Association has been pushing legislation that would further restrict brewery rights by limiting a brewery's on-premise sales to 10% of its annual production. So, like a brewery that produces 1,000 barrels a year couldn't sell more than 100 barrels a year in its own tasting room. So it forces them to distribute, basically. People in the Montana brewing industry say the law would basically shut down all but 7 of Montana's 38 breweries based on their current distribution.
Because they do so much business out of the tap room.
That's correct.
I see.
That's insane.
Now, why would the Montana Tavern Association be at odds with the Brewers Association? It seems like a kind of a weird adversaries there. Well, Montana issues liquor licenses based on population. So if you apply for one and the population is not there to support it, in the state's opinion, you just get nothing. It's just a numbers game. So that gives liquor licenses huge value in Montana. If you own a tavern in like Missoula, for example, your liquor license could be worth like $1 million. Big time money. So the value of liquor licenses is why Montana restricts how a brewery sells their beer. If people can go drink alcohol at the brewery, it devalues the liquor licenses because the brewery becomes competition for the tavern. The Tavern Association wants people to spend their alcohol dollars at taverns and bars, period.
Sure. Well, they're taking away business because having a limited number of liquor licenses available makes having a tavern enormous business. But if right next door you can open up a pub with a tasting room, you're taking money, right? I guess that's the whole premise.
And the lawyers get in.
But F that. I mean, they gotta change those laws. They can't let the Tavern Association. Look, times they are a changin', and I'm sorry. Yeah, it might hit your pocket a little bit, but you're not going to go out of business, and you can't hold down another industry just to save your own wallet.
They beg to differ.
I would like to draft a letter that just says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was America." Period. And then just mail it to them.
Yeah,
I thought I was
because they will know what you mean.
What?
I was going to move to Montana too.
Really?
When? Like soon?
No.
Oh.
Like tomorrow? Yeah, that's a weird thing. I read about that. You know, something that I found interesting is right when you said that they have laws like you can only get 3 pints a day at a brew pub, or not a brew pub, at a brewery and tasting room, and that the hours are only from 10 to 8.
Yep.
We, because it's so open in California, instantly kind of go, wow, that sucks, that's fucked up. It turns out most Montanans don't even scoff at that. They're fine with that.
Yeah, that's
no
true.
big deal.
It's just the way it is.
They're not going into the brewery to get hammered in the tasting room. A couple of pints, out of there by 8. If I want more, I can go to the tavern. I just found it kind of interesting that it seems that many of the residents of Montana aren't even so concerned about it. Like, that to me is offensive enough. Never mind the part where they're like, well, now we want to make the laws even stricter, and you know.
It's true, and they don't bat an eye because it's a huge improvement over nothing. There were no tasting rooms in breweries. So they look at it that there's even a tap room to go, a tasting room to go to in the first place as a huge victory.
Right. Also, is there there's not like a downtown nightlife anywhere in Montana? Like, in other words, when you go to a place here, you kind of have your option of like 5 bars within a mile radius. You know, you go choose. If one sucks, you go to the other one. You just get one bar in Montana?
You can't bring your sheep to all of them.
I mean, I guess if it's per capita, how they give the liquor license. If it's a particularly populated area, then maybe there are multiple bars. But it has to be a very particularly populated area.
Yes.
That's still wacky.
It's crazy. Yeah, one Montana guy said via email, as I remember it, he said the law, which originally allowed microbreweries to have tasting rooms with limited hours, was a big compromise, and it also set up beer and wine licenses for restaurants, which bought off the Tavern Owners Association by giving them expanded gambling machines. So they just gave them a license to print money. They were like, you leave us alone and you let us open these tasting rooms. You let us, and we'll
let you have
slot
gambling
machines in your establishment. Yeah.
Oh, I see. And now that's not good enough anymore?
They have apparently forgotten that, and now they're attempting to sabotage the tasting rooms.
Well, I won't stand for it. I care about Montana. Vote for Justin in the AHA Governing Committee election.
Where is Montana? Do you know?
Homebrewers.association.org.
What? Give me 2 bordering states of Montana.
Canada.
Yeah.
And Mexico.
You're right. You're fucking right.
Yeah.
God damn.
I know my geography.
Yeah,
it's one of my strong points.
I know my fucking linguistics.
Yeah. What else is in the news?
Alaskan Brewing Company is going green, but instead of solar panels and windmills, they're actually going to use spent grain. So what they've done is they've installed a unique boiler system. They purchased it for $1.8 million. It's a furnace that burns the company's spent grain into steam, which powers the majority of the brewery's operations. They're calling it beer-powered beer. In case you didn't know, most breweries send their spent grain to nearby farms and ranches, and it's used as animal feed.
Right.
But there's not that many farms in Alaska. There's 37 in southeast Alaska, where Anchorage is. or Alaskan rather, and then there's 680 in the entire state. So they underwent a huge expansion in 1995, and ever since then, what to do with this spent grain has been a huge issue. What they've been doing is shipping it to the lower 48, but it's really expensive because you have to heat the grain up because it's really wet. You have to dry it out. It's super expensive to ship. There's no roads into and out of Juneau. You have to fly or ship everything.
Right.
So it's barely profitable. It's mainly just get this grain out of here.
Can't you just dump it all in the ocean?
Or how about all that land they call Alaska?
Yeah, what about all that land? Can't just dump it out back?
Give it to the Inuits.
And it's Juneau.
Yeah. They'll eat anything.
Canada's right next door.
Just
dump it over
terraform
in Canada.
Terraform some new land with spent grain. Like,
hell yeah. I can't imagine there's a problem finding a place to put anything in Alaska. Yeah. Like, isn't that where we send all our nuclear waste and shit?
Feed the moose.
I mean...
Mice?
Yeah.
Moose. Mooses.
Mices. That is a clever use of a boiler, though. I wonder
$1 million
if...
bucks.
Yeah, 1.8. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it was, but they did get $500,000 from the Federal Rural Energy for America program. So it take $500,000 off that price. And I mean, it's going to pay for itself really quickly. They're saying it's going to offset the energy cost, the yearly energy cost, by 70%, which comes out to $450,000 a year.
Wow.
So in 2 years, 5 years,
they're pretty big brewery.
A couple of 3 years, it'll pay for itself.
Doesn't Chaz work for Alaskan?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he should get a raise now out of that $450,000.
I'm sure he would agree with you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a great platform to go to your boss and be like, look, I know about how much you're saving a year. Yeah. Can you kick down like $2 an hour for this motherfucker?
So I was listening to the Brewing Network. And Moscow says you're saving like almost $500,000 a year now.
No, I'm no dummy.
And he knows he's Jewish.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's... I bet that other breweries would be interested in the same technology. It's pretty interesting.
Let me tell you how that would go.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the Brewing Network. You're fired.
Right. I think the Alaskan guys like us.
I don't think they know who we are.
Until I just said that we just dump all our shit in their backyard.
Right.
No, it's their backyard.
Right.
It's not our shit. It's their shit. It's their backyard.
Dustin's fiance called a second ago and said that you should check your email.
Oh.
Okay.
Dustin's fiance called. His brains are all over the bathroom floor now.
Hang on, let me pull down my
wouldn't
pants.
that be messed over? Was that kind of photo?
Oh, that a girl. We've got more boobs in the house.
Bouncy.
Well,
those are great.
She's not a fat load at all like her fiance. Those are nice.
Very nice.
Everybody's speechless. Everybody just staring. Dead air. Staring in silence. Those are nice little boobies she's got there.
She's looking at boobs, man. Don't worry about it.
The title is She Really Wants Me to Win. Well, you've been listening. So
I think he's already won.
This, you are winning. Listen,
that's what winning looks like, dude.
Listen, you alcoholic load. Look at her. You've won.
Yeah. You're 3 points away from being obese, tubby.
Trying to stack the deck or stack the rack in another direction.
All right. Well, we'll just leave her up here. I
request another one with her pinching the nipples.
There's a couple of 3
boobs. Then I'll vote for him.
You want to pinch one?
I want a picture of that.
JP's needs are not yet met.
Nope.
You're going to need to send... I can't leave it up because you guys get very distracted.
By what?
The nipples are really nice. They point in a nice direction.
Yeah.
Opposite directions, by the way.
Oh, for the love of God. Can we please... I don't necessarily want to be here, so can we wrap this crap up?
Wow.
Depends if you can do better than that.
Listen, sweetheart. Just because we're not... Like I turn into now I'm like a 1920s boss. Listen,
sweetheart.
Hey, listen, doll face. Just because we're not talking about your boobs at this moment...
Look, I am so thankful that you are not currently discussing my boobs, but...
Hey there, dollface.
Can we talk about beer?
Oh.
And boobs?
Why don't you go write a forum post and I'll respond to it.
No, you won't. I don't even know how to log on to the forum.
From now on, staff of the Brewing Network, I would like all of your concerns addressed on the forum. I would like you to start a thread about your concerns, and I will appropriately respond there.
Can we have a subject column just for that?
Yes, yeah. Disgruntled BN staff.
Yes.
Anything else in the news, Moscow?
Yeah, a couple more. The Brewers Association has announced the reintroduction of a bill in the House of Representatives, H.R. 494, a.k.a. the Small Brewer Reinvestment and Expanding Workforce Act, in the House of Reps.
Evo wrote the bill.
By bipartisan legislation.
It's actually called something else.
It was reintroduced by Representatives Bevo Moore, Jim Gerlach, Republican from Pennsylvania, and Richard Neal, Democrat from Massachusetts. They're trying to recalibrate the federal beer excise tax that small brewers pay on every barrel of beer they produce.
Mm-hmm.
So, under current federal law, brewers making less than 2 million barrels annually pay $7 a barrel on the first 60,000 barrels, and $18 a barrel on every barrel thereafter. It's a lot.
That is a lot.
This act would create a new rate structure. The rate for the smallest breweries would be $3.50 on the first 60,000 barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Production between 60,001 and 2 million, the rate would be $16 a barrel. Any brewer that exceeds 2 million barrels, which is about 1% of the U.S. beer market, would begin paying the full $18 rate. So it's a cut for the lower 99%,
right?
To allow them to be competitive and hire more people and produce more beer.
More cash out of Anheuser-Busch.
That's only the federal cut, too. So there's local cuts and everything else. So that's pretty good.
I think it's great. I love it because I think it's about time that the big, rich people pay their fair share.
Well, now I know what you're getting.
Wait a minute. Who are we talking to here?
I know what you're getting at there, but the bill doesn't really specify what the big brewers are paying now, and if that would be increased. Because I could be for this and think, of course, it's a great idea to help the smaller brewers pay less taxes, but that doesn't necessarily mean I also think that the mega breweries have to pay more than they are now. You see what I mean? So
I see what you mean.
I'm curious about that.
As far as I know, this says nothing about their tax rate.
Yeah.
Only the rate of people making under 6 million barrels
it's just
a year.
the lower tax rate. That sounds great.
It encourages business.
I don't care.
Well, it's
a Republican cool thing to do.
It does encourage. I mean, what do they pay now if they're under 2,000 barrels?
It's
$7.50.
$7 a barrel.
So
on the first 60,000, 18 a barrel
18.
thereafter.
I see.
That encourages them not to be productive.
Yeah, cutting their tax in half for under 2,000 barrels, that would be an enormous amount of help for a lot of breweries, I think.
They could expand into the dog patch.
Right.
And then pay more taxes.
I tried to find the people that would disagree with us. No, we shouldn't change their tax rate. I tried to find their opinion and why they had it, and I couldn't really find the counter argument. So it's hard to even understand why you would be against this.
I wonder if has it come up? My understanding is that they haven't even changed the tax law since like 1976 or something.
That's correct.
So it's been this way for the same. Has anything been introduced up until now?
As far as I know, no. And not only has it not been since the 70s, but when those numbers were crafted, there were less than 100 breweries. Now there's over 2,000.
Right.
It's a totally different landscape.
Right. Well, I hope there are no opponents. It's nice to see the Republicans and the Democrats coming across the aisle to work together on a bill like this. It's sponsored by a pub and a dem, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
That is nice.
Doesn't it make you feel good?
It does.
No.
About politics?
It really does. What's a politic? What is one of those?
I don't know. There are things to feel good about.
No.
Well, I hope it passes.
Me too. Let's do one last one. Hong Kong has conducted its first ever homebrewing competition. 16 mostly expat beer geeks came bearing bottles of their beer. It's part of a bigger trend going on in China. Until recently, homebrewing was non-existent in Hong Kong, but in the last couple of years, as is the case in a lot of places, as we all well know, interest in craft beer has grown by leaps and bounds. They estimate the number of homebrewers in China now is at about 1,200. 200 a year ago, 1,200 now.
Wow.
So a huge explosion in the last year.
We should move the show to China, where they will appreciate us.
And where you can not pay your labor. Oh, wait.
We should do a remote.
Yeah, where I can legally not pay all of you.
You can outlaw the form there.
Can we just do a remote?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I think we're moving the show to Hong Kong.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a lot of Asia.
Thailand.
Oh.
Some countries in Asia there they maintain strict legal restrictions as you would expect. It's banned completely in Malaysia. Japan restricts homebrewed beverages to 1% ABV, which was a weird rule I never heard.
Wow. What's that kombucha?
That's
your
right.
homebrewed
That's
beverage.
exactly right. That's what it's for, kombucha.
It's for vinegar and kombucha.
Yes.
Wow.
Ironic, there's a lot of homebrewers in Japan. It's a big scene out there.
But they're doing it illegally.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Shame on them.
But it's only in theory.
I've never done anything illegal.
No.
And the one about the Hong Kong thing, do they have a category for beer without lead?
Wow. That's coming in 25 years.
Yeah. Good call, Doc. Good question.
Well, it's a tiny number compared with China's population, or the million Americans in homebrew. But it's all good things. It's the upward trend, no matter where you look.
Yeah, homebrewing everywhere.
That's the news.
Homebrewing is everywhere except on the Brewing Network,
where it belongs.
As long as they know how to use the forum.
Right. Do we have another? Blah
blah blah.
Steve from Roseville. A lot of Californians calling in tonight.
Yeah, it's because of that whole time change thing.
Right. Steve, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, how are we doing this tonight? Do I need to answer questions, give you a resume, or send you in pics of some random chick from the internet and convince you it's my wife?
Yes, you need to do all those.
Wait a second. Is Steve insinuating that we have not been getting real wife pics? Because I would resent that.
From now on, I want a photo
of the marriage license.
No, just of the chick with the newspaper underneath her boobs.
With today's date.
With today's date.
Well, actually, I've seen.
And holding her nipples.
Really
Or how about a hop grenade?
It should
At
really
least a
be a
hop grenade.
couple photo.
I've seen every
yeah.
picture out there that are boobs on the internet, and I would recognize if I saw them again. So these are genuine.
Steve makes a good point that it should be a couple's photo, but then we have to look at the dude.
No. I don't think you should couple
I like
photo.
I like the newspaper thing.
Oh,
yes.
Doc is a very vivid spank bank here. It's very accurate.
Yeah. He's like January 1979.
Now saw that.
Nate's right. There has to be a hop grenade.
Wednesday night, 1998.
Been there.
That is not your wife.
Yeah, been there. Yeah.
Right.
Something new.
Well, Steve, how drunk are you?
The problem is I've been drinking homebrew on like slobbercock, and
That is a
I have
problem.
no idea. It's off a tap too, so there's no bottles.
How drunk
I have
are
one
you,
glass.
Steve? Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
You have to put it in the
No,
glass, so you know how much you drank, or you just sucking it right off the tap.
Well, I kind of just go to the tap, open my mouth, and just take really big gulps. But
that's good.
Probably 8 or 6. I don't know.
Gulps?
Do you guys think we're really getting fake photos? Because I've been enjoying the wives,
They're
and
real.
and
You can
if
tell.
this is gonna ruin things for me.
It's still a fantasy. We might as well just
Do you
run
have
with
like
it.
a folder on your computer where it's like
No.
listeners lives or something?
No,
No.
it's in Dropbox, so I
Yeah.
can share it with everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
What kind of
I don't
homebrew
know.
have you been drinking, Steve? What's your beer on tap?
No pun intended for Dropbox. There.
I
That's
have
drip
an oatmeal stout, a Bohemian style Pilsner, a pale ale, dry hopped with Galaxy, Simcoe, and Columbus, and a... Fuck, what is the other one?
Simcoe.
Oh, no, it's a Northern
Columbus.
English Brown.
You got a lot of beer on tap, man.
Oh, it's a East Kent Golden.
You brew every week.
East Kent in the Northern English Brown, but then in the Pilsner I did Jamil's recipe, and then I just did it 50-50 with Spalton sauce, and I did a decoction mash on that one.
Okay.
We said cock.
How often do you brew? Every week?
Too much. I've been brewing a lot because I actually got into NHC, and except unlike those other people that had issues or whatever, but I'm probably not going to place, but hopefully I get some good feedback.
Okay. Well, Steve, you sound sober, but I'll take your word for it that you're drunk. So you're in the running for Drunk of the Week.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah. Don't cry.
It's send fake booze.
Blobber. Oh, no, I'm smoking. Blobber. You need to drink homebrew. You need to brew more. I really like the questions that he asked during the different shows and stuff, and I would have expected him to be drinking homebrew.
Right.
I think Steve needs like some nase cam or some sort of spray in his nose to loosen the passengers up just a little bit.
He sounds like Billy Joe Armstrong.
I thought he was just emotional.
I'm smoking a cigarette, so it's kind of...
Well, that's going to help.
Yeah, I
I'll
really
clear you
feel
right
that
out.
smoking cigarettes are really good things to do.
Hey, if it's
All
a
right,
clove, it might.
You're in the running for Drunk of the Week, man. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Thank you for shattering my boob dreams.
You know those boobs are really just photoshopped cocks, don't you, loser?
Doc for President from Connecticut is on the line.
Sweet.
What's happening, Doc for President? Unless it's cock for President, and Bevo got it wrong.
It's insane.
You get that one right, I think.
Hey, what's that?
Fucking drunk.
Are you? Where are you from? Connecticut? What city in Connecticut?
Hartford.
Hatford.
Hatford.
Whalers.
You know, just a couple of tree towns over from Meriden.
You know, a couple tree...
couple two tree towns.
Yeah. Couple two tree towns.
So you've been drinking all day?
Yeah, since like 12 o'clock.
Couple 2-3 hours.
So that's like fucking yesterday, your time.
Hey, not for nothing, but that's like since yesterday.
That's a long time.
It's a long fucking time.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you?
2, 3, 10.
I don't know, like 8.5. It's kind of hard to. I mean, I've been pretty drunk before, so.
But you blacked out and you couldn't even get to 10.
Yeah, exactly.
What state is the Grand Canyon in?
Oh, fuck. I've been there, and I don't even know. Can I lifeline that shit?
No.
Yeah, we'll wait here.
Yeah. We're just trying to do a boring internet show about commercial beer.
I'll try another one.
No. What state's the Grand Canyon in? Utah.
Well, parts.
Good.
It's
Good.
Wow.
Okay. And how many Supreme Court justices do we have?
Probably 8, because an even number sounds reasonable.
Good.
For fuck you. Even number sounds reasonable for somebody that needs to make decisions.
All right. True or false? Your ears are important when it comes to staying balanced.
Fucking false. I don't need that shit. I got eyes.
All right. He's 0 for 3, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have our drunk of the week right now. The Grand Canyon is in Arizona. There are 9 Supreme Court justices, and it's true. Your ears have a lot to do with you staying balanced. But you're our drunk of the week, man. Good job.
Alrighty.
You didn't even have to send us in a picture of your friend's boobs.
Yeah.
But we would like that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm cheating out other people because I don't have tits, so it seems kind of unfair.
I bet you do, though.
You got neighbors?
Yeah, send us their tits.
Do they have tits?
Knock on their door.
My neighbor's tits.
No, huh?
How about your other neighbor?
You want to see his tits either?
None of them. They're all dudes.
Oh, no.
He lives in a commune.
Or a prison.
I've been to that part of Hartford. I know what you're talking about.
We're just all dudes. Called Dude Alley.
Yeah. I know where you're living, buddy.
That's what they call it, Hartford.
All right, Doc for President is our drug of the week. Thanks for calling, brother.
All right.
Send JP your address so you'll get a drug of the week medal.
And your shirt size. No, you don't get a shirt. Fuck
Cheers,
you.
dude.
It's a medium. He has no boobs.
There you go. Dustin, I'm sorry, but you can blame Steve for ruining for making me question whether or not those were your fiance's boobs. Otherwise, you had it in the bag until Steve called in.
It's all Steve's fault.
And you lost it to Doc for President.
Can we change our mind if he sends us something real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, fuck that guy in Connecticut. I don't care. I don't care about any of our listeners. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
How about you post your favorite on the forum?
Oh, boy.
Cha.
Well,
what?
Another job well done, lady and gentlemen.
I did have a question
Thank you.
from the chat. Are we missing a guest?
And or a Twitter game.
Are we missing a guest?
Yeah, weren't we supposed to interview some dude?
No, it didn't have. We did do that today.
No. No.
Okay, I didn't know.
No, I'm kidding.
You weren't in the loop.
They're talking about Ron Pattinson.
Yes.
Next week.
I
thought it was going to be this week, but we ran out of time.
Oh, the short and stout. Yeah, I could play it to close, but it's a 25-minute interview that I think we're going to do next week. So I've moved it. I hope that's okay. I didn't petition the audience to ask if it was all right to move that interview from this week to next week.
I could have put a poll up on the forum.
We should probably put up a poll.
Tell you what.
Why don't we put up the poll? We'll wait here tonight and watch the voting.
I'll put up a poll and
You
have the
can't
entire
do that
forum
because there's
sit on it.
podcast people. We need to see it all week and what happens at the end of the week, and then we'll decide if it's going to be on next
But do
week.
I have to stay here during that time?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got to count the electoral votes until you get to the proper threshold, and then we can make a decision.
So
And
it
whoever
doesn't
has the
even,
money wins.
It doesn't even have to be a majority of our listeners.
Right.
It just has to win the electoral college.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to stay here, but only a couple 2-3 hours.
Only
A couple 2-3 hours.
Hey,
I'm about to stab a couple 2-3 of you.
Well, first of all, I think that's really rude.
All joking aside, I do encourage you to post your criticisms and comments and ideas for the show in the forum. It's always been that way. I really don't care. I do like to have fun with you when you do it, and I'm not lying when I say I think that some of your concerns are they boggle my mind. However, I'm always happy to hear them, and we'll do our best to address what we can. I am working on getting us a posted schedule so you know when our Sundays are and our Mondays are. I will continue to not take days off. And if you'll help us by sending in your ideas for homebrew topics, we are more than happy to be a homebrew-centric show as much as we possibly can. We love to do that stuff. So that said, suck it. Okay. Now are we done? Twitter game. Who won? What do we have?
Excuse me. Let me clear my...
That's, you know, I'm going to write about that in the forum.
What?
Well, you guys didn't used to cough into the microphones. Now you just sit around coughing into the microphone.
No, I moved away from the but I don't see my mute button still doesn't work.
It doesn't?
I have a cough button. Watch this.
What about your off button?
My off button doesn't work.
It does work. The light's working.
But I can still talk while everything is happening. La 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 la.
That's right, because I haven't plugged you in yet.
Right. So
that's interesting.
So answer your own post on the forum.
Mine works.
Okay.
All right. So it was. Yeah. Clearly. I forget what the game was. Oh yeah, give me a good reason for daylight saving. So Joe says because it annoys JP, good enough for me. Stephen Torres says it's not dark when I get home from work, so I have a less of a chance of getting my bike stolen. Remember, this is good reasons for having daylight savings time
and not having Mexican friends.
Yeah, my bike always got stolen in the dark.
See,
I can relate to that.
Well, you're a relatable guy.
Yeah.
Wait, you grew up in that?
I grew up in Whittier.
Yeah, I know.
What's up, Whittier?
Where Steve's from.
You're from
Whittier, man.
Mantro11 says, no, you give me a good reason, JP. You're not the boss of me, you fucker.
I like that one.
I like that one, too. Drew Beecham, our good personal close friend, says, to keep those dirty, filthy Huns at bay by conserving fuel. I don't know.
He's above our head.
Yeah. That's like a Dennis Miller joke.
Plus, he's a Viking. Isn't he a modern-day Viking?
Who knows?
I think Drew's a Viking.
What does that mean?
It means he's a Viking.
Duh.
Thank
Bevo,
you.
Idiot.
Check your stupid email again. Don't make me fuck you up.
Wow.
Hey.
Bevo,
wow.
I really did make everybody angry with starting the program.
Vikings and Huns are two different things, people.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a whole bunch of different boobies now.
Wait, what? Wait,
thank you.
Let's see.
I don't like that one.
I think that's Blobber's boobie.
It looks like
Blobber nip. I don't like that one.
Those stupid moles.
I think he sent in several. Yeah, Blobber. There's more Blobber boob.
Yeah.
Wow, that's adorable.
Now they're laying down like he felt.
JP, you can't get close enough to the screen here.
Are those all blobber?
A couple 2-tree nipples.
It's a trip nip.
Just open them all up. You're going to on the air or off. It's fine.
I don't know. I'm afraid to click things.
Oh God.
This is a YouTube video of Roseville bars. I'm not going to watch
that. Sounds great.
What's going on?
Let's
here?
watch that.
Okay.
On the air.
All right. Well, that was fun. So there weren't more boobs. They were just Blobber's boob.
I'm solely disappointed.
All right, Bevo, can I go back to my job? Thanks.
Okay.
Brandon Little says, we have daylight savings to ruin our fucking lives, which I personally agree with.
Really?
Natty's Thomas says, because the Illuminati listening devices reset when you change the clock's time. And
I'm putting this time change thing in the same category as some of the things that listeners complain about that I just don't get. Who gives a shit? Why does it matter to anybody?
It's a pain in the ass because you have to go and then set all your clocks back if you remember it. It's a pain in the ass.
There's someone controlling your life, and it's not you.
Whatever. I know there's a Brain Oil song about it. Well, it's just like you said. Take out all the little tiny stuff that distract you from day-to-day life so you can work smarter, not harder. Yeah. That's what this does. It's a distraction.
It's to remind you.
My clock changed automatically. I woke
but you don't have a watch, your microwave, and then you have to remember that it happened that way. And then we go, how many times has it screwed us up in the?
You make it sound like I live in a hut. You don't have a watch. You have a microwave.
How many times in the past has it ever fucked us up for show starts?
Never.
No. Bullshit.
It maybe fucked you up.
No, at least like 4 times. We got in the studio. It's like, oh, yeah, the time changed. We're late.
I don't remember.
No, I don't either. But bullshit. I thought about it this morning. I'm like, who's this going to fuck up?
Didn't happen to me. I was there for the show.
Well, because you lived there.
Hey, how many times in your adult lives have you gone through this time change? It should be automatic.
It's irritating. It could still be irritating. And it's irritating.
It's to remind you to change the batteries in the goddamn smoke detector.
And if this is what irritates you, there are bigger fish to fry. That's all I mean.
I'm not trying to fry this fish. I'm just saying it's irritating and I don't like it. That's all.
Okay.
But now, you know what? No, nobody wins. No one wins.
I want that not...
Okay,
I don't...
JP just turned gay, first of all.
Did I really?
Yeah, right.
Nobody wins.
Nobody wins. Okay, you just forget it. Because now nobody wins.
That was the best part of my night. Can we get the hell out of here?
Why?
Nobody won.
You know, people complain about this too, Bevo, that at the end of the show, everybody just wants to get out of here.
I don't want to get out of here.
That's because you hate your life.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to go home.
Because it's the end of the show.
Oh.
When? It's the end when we say it's the end.
I will break your other ankle.
We're done.
Yeah, one of the comments is that we sound miserable all the time.
Do they complain we don't
And
drink enough?
Let me
Does
just
they complain
clarify.
that or what?
We've always been
We're
miserable.
always miserable.
Right. We just used to drink more.
I just think we're in tune with our own, and everybody else is miserable.
Now I have to be responsible for a child and Sam. Do you know how much pressure that is?
But both of those are your mistakes.
Wait.
Right.
You just said a
Ad is not
child
a mistake,
and
though.
Sam.
Right, they're one and the same.
Exactly.
They're drinking all that
Were there any
session
other
beer.
good entries, JP?
No, they were all shitty entries.
Nobody wins.
No.
Nobody. I'm going to make a song about it. Nobody wins now because
Can you sing that into the auto-tuner?
It's right behind Moscow.
Just like daylight savings is going to control me, you're not going to control me, and nobody's going to win.
Nobody wins.
You know what? I'm just going to go the rest of the week on my time.
I had a really good Twitter game, and now nobody wins. Here, do it into your microphone.
Wait, you pushed it.
Oh, I kind of like the beat.
But they start singing over it, so...
Nobody wins. I had a really good Twitter game this week. And now nobody wins. Nobody wins. I turned gay in front of your eyes. I was sitting here. I was straight 5 minutes ago. And now I'm gay. Because nobody wins. Nobody wins.
Like the chorus effect I put on there for you?
Oh, Jesus.
That was helpful.
You're helpful.
That's almost
so I can't vote for the guy who said, I don't give a care, don't tell me what to do, or whatever?
No, that's fine. He wins. That guy wins.
But nobody wins.
No, that guy won.
Except for him.
Nope.
But nobody.
Nope.
Well, I'm actually just stalling because I have no idea where I closed the thing, and I have no idea where the thing is. So,
all right, let's get out of here anyway.
Yes! That's
all right.
the winning thing!
I want to go.
Next week, pay close attention, everybody.
What's happening next week?
It's an off week, right?
We have a break?
We have no idea yet.
It's a Monday show.
Those don't really count. Those are kind of like off weeks, right? To listeners.
Yeah. Next week is our day off / we move the show 24 hours.
Oh, wait, is that like daylight savings time?
It's just like daylight savings, except less annoying. Except more annoying to some. Next week, I'm going to say it again, is a Monday show.
What day is that?
Monday. And the time already changed.
To?
Where it is now.
Monday.
The show time changes. The same daylight expenditure is going on or whatever we're in right now. Stacey, have you said one word tonight?
Not too many.
Someone in the chat like an hour ago goes, you might want to nudge him just in case.
Stacey, still with us?
Somebody put a mirror under his nose, will you?
Let's see if he's breathing, man.
Did we drive you nuts tonight,
A little
Stacey?
bit.
Whatever.
Too negative for him, man.
He'll be
It's
back
no big
next
deal.
week.
I'll be back.
Yeah, he's back all the time. Fuck it. He knows how shit goes around here.
I know it.
Sometimes it blows. All right, let's get out of here, JP.
Take us out.
Fuck, hold on. Let me kick Brew Tab. Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. If you like jokes and funny tweets and things, don't go find JP on Twitter at MajorJip because you won't find anything like that there at all. Scott's on Twitter when he feels like it. Follow him at Moscow Paints to check out a growing sadness deep inside his soul. For some good beer insight and homebrew info, follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew and Mike McDowell at Tasty McD. Check out the Brewing Network store for all the latest beer and merch, including the 2 Beersmith software. Including the new Beersmith 2 software and our brand new Pale Ale DVD guaranteed not to glitch. And be sure to find the Brewing Network on Facebook and Twitter.
JP's an asshole. Justin's in Moscow and when